Today, I'm going to recap seasons 2 and 3 of Kyle XY. If you haven't watched the first season, click on the cards in the corner or in the pinned comment. Kyle's departure leaves a hole in the Traeger family, especially Nicole, who soon becomes haunted by nightmares involving Kyle's safety, and as her worry starts to grow, she becomes distant from her family. Elsewhere, glad to be reunited with Kyle, Adam finally explains his origins.
Are you familiar with Einstein's contributions?
Einstein spent several weeks longer in his mother's womb, a healthy 13-month gestation.
What happened to the child?
You're looking at him.
Fascinated by what he learned and hoping to find out more, Kyle attentively listens to his host and gets the shock of his life.
Finally, I designed a chamber that I believe could work.
You're saying I was gestated inside one of those tanks at Zizek's?
Meanwhile, at the Traeger's house, as the stress mounts, Nicole and Steven decide to get away for a weekend to clear their head, leaving Lori in charge. However, despite their warnings, Josh throws a big party that night and has fun with his friends, and calls Kyle to brag about the fun he's having with his friends. Excited to see his family, Kyle happily talks to Josh, until Tom, who's Adam's head of security, walks in.
2 minutes, or Zizek's can trace the connection.
Later, Adam introduces Kyle to his right-hand man, Brian Taylor.
Tells me everything.
Almost everything.
Adam then teaches Kyle what his mind is capable of.
Took me 20 years to master this. Give yourself at least 5 minutes.
Intrigued by all the new things he's learning, Kyle spends more time trying to understand his nature.
Once you teach your mind to alter the positive and negative polarity of the cells in your body,
The content.
take a shot.
At the Traeger's house, Steven and Nicole return from their trip, find out about Josh's party, and become furious. But to the shock of everyone, Nicole momentarily dismisses this, promises to come up with a punishment later, and starts asking about Kyle. That afternoon, while hanging out with Declan, Lori notices how distracted he has been since Kyle's departure, and realizing how much Kyle's absence is affecting everyone, comes up with an idea.
You want me to come to Seattle?
It'd be so great if you could surprise everyone.
However, before Kyle can give Lori an answer, he hears a thud from the other room, rushes to check it out, finds Adam on the ground, and runs to his side.
The two of us share a gift, Kyle. Our minds can enable our bodies to do. Thoughts told me you had a seizure.
As soon as he finishes his conversation with Adam, Kyle is horrified to remember that he didn't hang up the call and rushes to do so, but is shocked to learn that the call has been on for over 4 minutes. In Seattle, unable to cope with everything, Nicole quits her job and starts seeing a therapist to work through her stress. The next day, in Adam's house, Adam prepares to continue training Kyle.
Your mind is a powerful tool. Use it wisely. It's your soul that touches people.
Touched by Adam's words, Kyle focuses and manages to move and break the glass of water, using only his mind. But before the duo can celebrate this feat, to the shock of Kyle, Adam is fatally shot. Later, a devastated Kyle spreads Adam's ashes at a river in the forest, and when he returns, he finds Tom and Brian arguing.
I'll go tonight and eliminate the threat. Zizek's killed Baylin because he knew too much about them.
At the Traeger's house, Nicole becomes increasingly worried by Kyle's radio silence and approaches Josh.
I threw a party while you weren't home, and then you did nothing. And what a surprise, it was all about Kyle. I only live here, I'm only your son.
Elsewhere, Tom sneaks into the Zizek's building armed with explosives, carefully plants the bombs, and as he proceeds to leave, he's shocked to see the XX figure suspended in the chamber. However, before he can process this, he notices Kyle entering the building in the security cameras, rushes towards him, knocks him out, and drags him outside, where Kyle soon wakes up. But before Kyle can react, the compound explodes, forcing them to flee the area.
Those people, they ordered you terminated. I'm gonna stay here and read his notes and see if I can help.
Oh, that's so kind of you, Tom. That evening, at the Traeger's house, Nicole, who has decided to put everything aside and cherish those around her, surprises everyone by offering to cook dinner and bond with her family.
And one more thing, no internet, no video games for a week.
At Adam's house, seeing Tom's guilt, Kyle approaches him.
You can't go back to the Traegers.
I know I'll have to keep my past a secret.
You'd be lying to them every day.
That night, Tom drives Kyle to the Traeger's house.
Thank you for doing this.
Be worth it.
Kyle enters the house and is warmly received by the Traegers, who are delighted to see him and embrace him wholeheartedly. Elsewhere, having somehow survived the explosion, a naked woman covered in slime walks out of the forest and walks away in the dark. Moments later, while the Traegers are greeting Kyle, the doorbell rings, and Steven proceeds to open the door while wondering who could be on the other side at such a late hour.
Is that your folks?
I'm the attorney for David and Julia Peterson. David and Julia were killed in a car accident last week.
My God.
Meanwhile, in the woods, the naked woman finds a hunter who becomes fascinated by the fact that she has no belly button and approaches her. However, soon a struggle ensues as the man tries to get intimate with her, and she kills him before rushing to eat the food he's prepared. Elsewhere, at an organization called Matacorp, the executive, Julian Ballantyne, receives an alert for the missing 781228 and calls one of his operatives, Emily.
Matacorp is like an iceberg, as did Zizix, one of our research facilities. She apparently survived the bombing and escaped.
I'll find her for you, sir.
Then, while Kyle rushes out to meet Tom, he runs into Declan and warmly greets him.
You've had me freaked out and worried.
There's no reason to be.
Not cool, Kyle.
Meanwhile, now wearing the dead hunter's coat, 781228 walks to the park, strangely mimicking the actions of everyone she sees, and takes a seat on a bench. Suddenly, she feels an inexplicable presence, scans her surroundings, and sees Kyle, who also senses the same presence but fails to identify the source and rushes to his meeting with Tom. Elsewhere, hoping to make sense of everything, Nicole meets with Brian.
Kyle was lost, and the Petersons were looking for him. He couldn't remember any of it. Well, how did Kyle end up wandering in the woods that day?
Kyle then meets with Tom at an abandoned warehouse.
I'm going to tell Declan.
No, you're not?
As the argument heats up and Kyle becomes stressed, he inadvertently breaks the skylight, which falls all over them. Instead of being mad, Tom uses this to reinforce his point and urges Kyle to explore his talents. Later, Kyle meets Lori and Josh at the local popular hangout place called The Rack and helps Josh realize that he would enjoy working there. Then, Kyle runs into Amanda and is happily reunited with her.
Let's catch up now.
I can't, I'm waiting for Charlie.
You're still together.
Yeah, why wouldn't we be?
Then, Kyle returns home and is surprised to find Declan in his room waiting for him.
I really can't talk about that.
Someone came after you with the gun, Kyle.
It's all been taken care of. It wasn't for nothing. And I can't say anymore.
On the other side of town, Emily carefully follows 781228's trail, finally finds her in a shipping container, drawing in the same peculiar manner Kyle does, and calls Julian so that he can see the drawings.
Who is he?
The other asset.
Your next assignment, Miss Hollander.
That evening, after the Traegers signed Kyle's custody papers, Brian met Kyle in his room to discuss everything.
They think Adam Baylin abducted me.
You could be a shining light in a world full of darkness. Question now is, can you believe in yourself?
Then, Brian hands Kyle a small package that Adam wanted him to have. While Kyle enjoys family life with the Traegers, who make him feel loved and normal, 781228 is held in an interrogation room and continuously monitored, while Julian and Emily discuss the peculiar situation.
Where is he now? I'll set up a retrieval unit.
Everything you need to know is in that file.
At the rack, Amanda gives Kyle a gift before walking off with Charlie.
Young love makes me want to hurl.
Hit list. Everyone votes anonymously in different categories.
Meanwhile, Lori and Declan's relationship becomes increasingly strained as Declan grows more distant and continues shutting Lori out.
Lori's here.
Can't talk to her right now.
Kyle continues meeting with Tom at the warehouse to go through Adam's files.
We need to meet more often and start exploring your physical limits. Kyle, this is what Adam wanted for you.
One evening at home, Kyle finds Nicole reading and chats with her.
We haven't had a moment alone in a long time. What you've been through is anything but normal.
You still have 29,642 words left.
Elsewhere, Julian and Emily try to figure out how to proceed.
He's managed to develop a mental equivalent of a firewall.
I mean, he's been living a normal life in the suburbs. Look at her.
The next day, Julian surprises Emily with an unexpected plan.
Hi, Jessi, her sister.
What did you do to her?
She's a young teenage girl who likes strawberry ice cream and Avril Lavigne.
She thinks that she's my sister. I'm just supposed to live that lie?
Meanwhile, everyone at the school prepares for the bonfire that evening. And while Amanda, who's on the committee, rushes off to do some last-minute errands, Kyle is annoyed to see Charlie flirting and making plans with another girl. Kyle then rushes to meet Tom at the warehouse, where he trains to mentally control his body temperature until he gets a call from Lori, who asks him to warn Amanda, who's planning to sleep with her cheater boyfriend Charlie.
Where are you going? We were just starting to make progress. You're letting petty things compromise your destiny.
What do you mean, my destiny?
Kyle!
At the bonfire, a heartbroken Lori confronts Declan.
If I could figure out how to explain it, I would.
This is one place where the silent treatment is not going to fly. If you want to break up, you're going to have to say it.
Then, Jessi and Emily arrive at the bonfire, and soon, Jessi and Kyle feel each other's presence. Jessi becomes distracted, bumps into a boy, who apologetically touches her arm, inadvertently triggering memories of the hunter in the woods and causing her to react impulsively and choke him until Emily intervenes. Meanwhile, on the other side, Charlie confronts Kyle, who tries to expose him to Amanda. But as an argument ensues and Declan gets involved, the trio notices the nearby shack going up in flames. While Charlie runs to get help, seeing the fire growing with each passing second, Kyle remembers his training and, to the shock of Declan, runs into the fire and rescues a girl.
Get out, Kyle, get out! She's breathing. Go! Get out of here!
As Kyle runs away, he runs into a shocked Nicole who had volunteered at the bonfire, but simply passes her. Later that night, Nicole goes to check on Kyle in his room.
Please don't ask me any more questions. I can hardly explain to myself.
You don't have to be in this alone.
I just want to be ordinary.
At school, the annual list of notable students is released, and Amanda is shocked to learn Charlie's label.
Charlie, it's not a joke. I slept with him.
Then, after reflecting on everything, Kyle accepts that he will never be normal, decides to accept his extraordinary nature, goes to Tom, and assures him that he's ready to train and strengthen his mind and body so that he can use his abilities without harming himself. Determined to keep his training a secret from the Traegers, Kyle starts waking up early in the morning and meets Tom, who trains him intensely and returns before his family wakes up and joins them for breakfast. One morning, as the family gathers for their meal, Josh excitedly announces that he's passed his driver's test and is congratulated by everyone.
Aw, way to go, Josh.
Thanks.
Moments later, Stephen receives a shocking call.
That was the office. It means I just lost my job.
Later at the rack, Josh chats with a girl named Andy, who had been beating him at his favorite video game, and tells her about his dream car, while Kyle tries to talk to and apologize to Amanda, to no avail. Meanwhile, a worried Stephen, who's the sole breadwinner, tries to find out what's going on at the company.
Hey, I got a lot of good contacts out there.
At the rack, Kyle tries to find a way to talk to Amanda.
I just want to say one thing.
But I'm not ready to hear it.
Then Kyle rushes to the warehouse for his training.
Your next challenge. You had me run 7,642 steps this week.
Meanwhile, hoping to distract herself from the painful breakup, Lori tries to take guitar lessons and turns her room upside down, looking for her old guitar.
Well, I think we sold it at the garage sale, which, if I remember correctly, you told me to.
At the warehouse, Tom trains Kyle vigorously until he stumbles and falls.
I was trying. Well, try harder. I know what I'm doing. Except you're not the one doing it.
Once he calms down, Kyle approaches Tom.
In your old apartment, I saw a picture.
They were killed by a drunk driver.
I'm just saying, if you're ever in trouble, you can call me.
Kyle then heads home, but gets there late.
You're late.
I'm sorry.
Again?
Flustered, Kyle rushes to his room, leaving his phone in the kitchen, and soon receives a call from Tom. Following her gut feeling that there's still something going on with Kyle, Nicole answers it swiftly. But once he hears her voice, Tom hangs up. You gotta be more careful, Kyle. The next day, Josh spends more time hanging out with Andy at the rack and starts to enjoy her company. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, a hurried Emily bumps into Nicole on the street.
I'm sorry. Do I know you? It's Traeger, right? Nicole?
Okay, now I'm definitely paying for the cleaning.
That evening, Nicole and Kyle make preparations to celebrate Josh's birthday, buy the cake, and return home.
Sorry you lost your job. Must have been tough.
Yeah, but don't worry, everything's gonna work out.
What are you gonna tell Josh about the car?
My dad was notorious for breaking promises. I don't want to be that kind of father.
You're not. You're a great father.
That was so kind, Kyle. You made his day. Later, as Kyle leaves the house to meet Tom, he runs into Josh and Amanda.
Tonight.
Do my birthday dinner at La Scala.
About Charlie.
Kyle.
I should have told you what was going on.
Meanwhile, Declan, who had arrived at the Traeger's house to hash it out with Lori, sees Kyle rushing away, becomes suspicious, and instead of going inside to speak to Lori, he discreetly follows him to the warehouse and is shocked to see him with Tom. Inside the warehouse, despite Kyle telling him that he has to return early for Josh's birthday dinner, Tom runs Kyle through a rigorous drill and gives him a difficult exercise, which, despite trying his best, Kyle fails to master. After hours of failed attempts as it gets dark, Tom relents, promises to make a few adjustments to the drill, and sends Kyle on his way. Meanwhile, at home, Stephen breaks the news to Josh, who's disappointed to learn that he won't get his dream car. Later, Emily arrives at the house to give Nicole the cleaning bill.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, thank you. My sister, Jessi,
She's been having some problems more than just the...
It's Hollander. Jessi's got herself a therapist.
On the other side, while Kyle runs home as fast as he can, he gets an SOS message, signaled by 3 stars from Tom, who, while adjusting the wall, has fallen over the edge and is barely holding on with one hand while texting him with the other. Knowing that it must be a real emergency, Kyle, who had gotten to his block, watches as the disappointed Traegers head off to the birthday dinner without him and returns to the warehouse. There, alarmed to see Tom hanging on the edge, Kyle makes the jump he couldn't master earlier and rescues him before returning home. The next morning, after some discussion, Steven and Kyle come up with a perfect gift for Josh and give him the perfect starter car.
The coolest thing I've ever seen.
Well, it doesn't run right now, but we're gonna fix it up.
Later, Andy goes to see Josh at his house.
I didn't know what you'd like, but I couldn't bring myself to buy those mud flaps with the...
So what kind of girl do you think I could get with this car?
Later, unaware that Declan has been sneaking around the warehouse, trying to figure out what's inside, Kyle meets with Tom.
I want to thank you for coming back to help me.
We all struggle to find the right path to take in life. In the end, it's the people in our lives that provide us the balance to help us make it through.
Meanwhile, Declan returns to his car, and as he prepares to return home, he finds a mysterious envelope. Inside the envelope are pictures of Declan, showing him sneaking around the warehouse, his car, a picture of Lori, and a note threatening to hurt her if he doesn't back off. Who could have sent these? One night, while Kyle practices sensory deprivation, he hears an erratic heartbeat coming from Amanda's room while she's asleep, realizes she's in danger, and rushes over to help her.
The thing about sensory deprivation is you can use it to enhance any of the senses.
Kyle runs after the man as fast as he can, but just misses him as he drives away.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Kyle, I live next door and I...
Have nothing to do with this.
It was a gold antique charm bracelet. It's been in my family forever.
The next morning, the Traegers and Kyle gather in the kitchen as they prepare to start their day and discuss upgrading the security system around the house in response to the news of the break-in.
I was thinking I wanted to catch him.
I'm just saying, is it really a good idea to bring your freaky patients into your house?
Later, after sending out his resumes, hoping to get a break, Steven starts playing Josh's video game and is shocked by what he learns.
Traeger, thought you were at work. Sounds like Josh been smoking more of that skunk weed.
Skunk weed?
Then, Jessi arrives at the house for her first session with Nicole, and as soon as she enters the house without seeing each other, both she and Kyle, who is in his room, suddenly feel each other's presence. Kyle searches the house to find out the source and is drawn to Nicole's home office.
Jessi, are you all right?
There's someone there.
As Nicole proceeds to open the door to prove to Jessi that no one is lurking outside, Kyle rushes out of the house and heads to the police station with the drawing of the getaway car he saw the previous night.
Did they find your bracelet?
Not yet.
Why would people risk stealing if they could end up here and lose everything?
Meanwhile, at the house, Declan arrives to pick up some of his items from Lori, who's still heartbroken by the whole breakup. And as he leaves the house, he meets Jessi and exchanges an awkward introduction. At the police station, the detective meets with Kyle and Amanda.
This is incredibly detailed. Are you sure you didn't see the guy's face? Well, hopefully you can ID him.
Then, Amanda is taken to try to identify the suspect from a lineup, but fails to do so. However, as the suspects leave, Kyle hears the same erratic heartbeat and identifies the intruder, but he refrains from pointing him out as he has no acceptable explanation for his claims. At the house, Steven informs Nicole about his discovery.
Josh is smoking pot.
What?
I think we're Josh's supplier.
What are you talking about?
Oh, so it's my fault I didn't smoke it all?
Steven.
Steven then goes outside to confront Josh, but it quickly goes sideways.
And if you think you're gonna get stoned in my house, then you must still be high.
Are you gonna lecture me when you had that shoebox stashed in your closet that I got high on your watch or high on your weed?
Desperate to recover Amanda's bracelet, Kyle uses his wit and everything he knows about the recent robbery cases to identify the intruder's next target, stakes it out with Lori, and just as the thief enters, the duo calls the police, reports it, and gets him arrested. The next day, after talking to Kyle and the understanding how Josh is feeling, Steven approaches his son.
My father, your grandpa, was a pretty heavy drinker. Now, he was the last person that should be lecturing me about drinking, but...
Unless we both agree to keep partying.
Not a chance.
What would the Traegers do without Kyle? That afternoon, Lori and Kyle see Amanda returning home from the police station and rush to ask her for an update.
He says I never even saw my bracelet. I'll probably never see it again.
Lori and Kyle then spend hours searching for the bracelet at pawn shops and finally find it.
That bracelet's been in the store going on 3 weeks now. Well, looks like you're wrong on both counts.
Amanda's mom sold her bracelet.
Kyle returns to the pawn shop to speak to the owner.
You want to trade, you better have something.
It was a gift from Adam Baylin, and it meant a lot to me. But so does Amanda.
Kyle then goes to Amanda's house with the bracelet.
I know you sold Amanda's bracelet.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Kyle, how did you get my bracelet back?
Kyle, will you excuse us, please? I need to have a talk with Amanda.
Elsewhere, at Emily's house, while Jessi quietly draws pictures of Declan, Emily calls Julian.
I think our patient's first session went very well.
Her sole focus should be Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Later, at the Traeger house, Amanda comes to see Kyle.
I want to thank you for getting my bracelet back. We've been having money troubles, and I know that's no excuse, but it's the money my mom got for selling the bracelet.
Kyle then returns to the pawn shop to retrieve his ring.
Who bought it? Someone who paid me a lot of money to lose the receipt.
Meanwhile, Steven is finally called for an interview and heads off, desperately hoping to make a good first impression.
You don't even have to worry if they give you a drug test.
Julian, who's wearing the ring, then gets up and gives Steven a congratulatory handshake. A few days later, while hanging out at the rack and chatting with Josh, Kyle meets Andy.
Having a pimped out car doesn't guarantee your hand gets anywhere near her bra.
Andy's words suddenly trigger Kyle to have a vision, and he sees a fishbowl, the urn that contained Adam's ashes, and a picture postcard with the words Viz Alati written on the back. Just as Kyle tries to figure out what it all means, he suddenly finds himself back in reality and holding a sugar packet.
Kyle, you all right?
I feel like something bad is about to happen.
Then, as soon as Jessi and Kyle see each other, an earthquake shakes the cafe, which shocks everyone.
2 words for you. Lottery, ticket.
Josh returns to his shift at the cafe, and seeing his stress over what to plan for his first date with one of his classmates, Andy promises to help him plan the perfect date. Elsewhere, Kyle meets Tom at the warehouse, and after he tells him about his visions, the duo decides to search Adam's files to see if there's anything about premonitions.
I don't know how else to explain it.
Predict the future.
Kyle visits Amanda at her house and learns that her financial troubles have gotten worse.
So predicting the future could be a good thing.
I mean, I guess you'd never be surprised, believe me.
Kyle then receives the mail and is shocked to find the same picture postcard from his visions addressed to him. Later, Andy arrives at the Traeger house to help Josh prepare for his date.
But you like online gaming.
Yep, well, he's not going on a date with me.
Sounds like he should be.
That afternoon, Lori runs into Jessi, whom she had seen awkwardly talking to Declan a few days ago, and introduces herself to her.
Does your heart pound like a drum when he's near?
He can be like any guy. Under all that, I can tell you he's got a really good heart.
Outside, Andy and Josh hang out in Josh's car, planning Josh's upcoming date.
Now she's in the car, show me what you're gonna do.
What? With you?
Josh, I'm just grabbing some software and then I'm heading back.
At the warehouse, as Kyle touches one of Adam's old books, he gets another vision in which he sees Adam handing him a note.
What happened? What did you see? You walked over here, you picked up the pad, and you wrote that yourself.
Then, while listening to music in his tub, Kyle sees his entire life cataloged and soon relives one of his conversations with Adam.
You see the world from a unique perspective. You're special, Kyle.
Having seen Adam hiding something in the old book, Kyle rushes to the warehouse, inspects the old book, and finds a CD. He then tries to play the CD, but only hears noise. At Matacorp, Emily recognizes Steven, introduces herself, and offers to show him around. Later, she returns to her apartment to look after Jessi, and as she checks how her sessions are going, she receives a call.
I will come by and tuck you in. So, pick out a book with Grandma. I love you too. All right. See you soon.
Meanwhile, Kyle suddenly finds a way to play the mysterious CD using parts from Josh's car radio and eagerly listens to it.
Your holographic memory will become an important power to master.
By the end, Kyle is left to wonder why Adam put in all the work to give him such a simple message and tries to figure out if there's still something he's missing. Pushing this aside, Kyle then goes to the garage to work on the old piano he salvaged for Amanda.
Andy says this color looks good with my eyes. She's
pretty great.
Andy and Josh spend a few hours hanging out and enjoying each other's company. Kyle and Lori then head to the rack, where Lori will be performing her song at the open mic night.
Lori, you get nervous, just look over at me and remember how mad you are. Don't be a nice distraction.
While Lori starts her song, Declan and Jessi step outside for some air, and mimicking a romantic scene she had seen in an old movie, Jessi kisses Declan. Then, as Kyle watches the sound system, he suddenly realizes that Adam's message is a cipher hidden in the sound waves of the CD, and Visalati is the key. Kyle then deciphers Adam's hidden message and is shocked to find a warning not to trust Tom. Why was he your head of security then, Adam? Kyle rushes to the warehouse to talk to Tom and is horrified to find it completely completely emptied out with no signs of Tom ever being there. With Tom, who was the only person that knew his true identity in his life, now gone, Kyle spends the next few days overwhelmed by confusion, regret, and despite being surrounded by friends and family, feeling quite lonely. One morning at school, Amanda surprises Kyle with some flowers.
A piano mysteriously appeared in my living room last night.
Actually, taproot a perennial herbaceous plant.
Elsewhere, at Matacorp, Stephen runs into Emily and chats with her.
Oh, my kids go there.
Yeah?
What's her name?
Jessi Hollander.
At school, as everyone prepares for the upcoming dance, Josh approaches Andy.
So you can't go to the dance.
I was ordered to clean up duty.
Sucks.
On the other side of the school, as Jessi familiarizes herself with her new environment, she finds Declan.
Maybe later we could hang out. I'd like to do more kissing.
Who's that? One of my mom's troubled teens.
After school, a panicked Kyle confides in Nicole.
Why am I anxious? I like her.
Nicole then momentarily leaves the office, is surprised to find Lori hanging out with Jessi in the kitchen, and confronts her about their suspicious sudden friendship. Meanwhile, as Jessi wanders around and heads to Kyle's bedroom, Kyle feels her presence, follows her there, and finds her sitting in his tub.
You're here for Nicole.
You call your mom Nicole? You're Kyle.
You're in my tub.
Then, once alone, Kyle notices that Jessi had fixed Josh's broken car radio and is utterly perplexed. At dinner, Kyle presents the fixed radio and shares that Jessi had fixed it, which surprises everyone.
It's your patient, Jessi Hollander.
Emily works at Matacorp?
Who's Jessi? And is she hot or just smart?
Meanwhile, at the apartment, Emily returns from work, is shocked to find Jessi and Declan kissing, and throws Declan out.
You are not seeing him again.
But I like him. You said I should meet people.
Yeah, not him. That's not who I meant.
Later that night, Kyle spends some time outside, clearing his head.
I saw you from my window. What are you doing out here? Are you okay?
Not really.
At school, Amanda, who protests the school dance policies, recruits Lori to cut class and post flyers all over the school. However, Lori, Kyle, and Amanda are later caught red-handed by the principal, who calls Nicole.
I am principal of this school. If you think you can do a better job, I invite you to try.
At the rack, Jessi runs into Lori and chats with her.
Where are your parents? My mom's crazy and my dad couldn't handle it. Yeah, we haven't always had the easiest life.
That night, while everyone prepares for the alterna dance Andy and Lori have planned at the rack, a devastated Amanda visits Kyle.
Principal Hooper called my mom and she came home early. I'm grounded. I can't go to the dance.
At the rack, Lori and the rest of the committee gather to decorate for the dance.
People, the Earth is not your trash can.
These Sour Patch Kids are different.
They're extreme.
Later, while Nicole chaperones, the dance commences, and Amanda, who has snuck out of her house, joins the fun.
I snuck out. Long live civil disobedience.
Jessi thanks Lori for inviting her and compliments her on her necklace, but is disheartened to learn that it was a gift from Declan. Moments later, after learning Jessi's presence at the dance from Stephen, Emily joins him as he heads to the rack and is furious to find Jessi dancing with Declan.
Thanks. You're coming home now.
I don't want to. You can't tell me what to do.
As the dance concludes, Andy, who is feeling sick, takes some fresh air outside before helping Josh clean up.
No, you're being nice. You're never nice.
I thought that was our thing.
Andy then gives Josh a peck on the cheek and leaves. Meanwhile, on the other side, Declan helps Lori clean up.
I'm really sorry, Lori. I wanted to be there.
Romance interrupted.
You and your words.
Then, while Declan proceeds to head home, hoping to make things right, Kyle follows him.
I think there's something you should see. As a warning.
A warning?
If you want me to know the truth, I'm ready to hear it.
Meanwhile, while taking the trash out, Lori is attacked and knocked unconscious. In the aftermath, the family hovers around Lori to make sure she's all right.
Am I wearing a crown?
No. He's just worried about you.
I gathered.
Then, while discussing the frustrating fact that the police don't have any leads or eyewitnesses to the attack, the Traegers receive a phone call.
She's calling from the hospital about a patient. A William Traeger. He had a stroke last night. Looks like he's not going to make it.
Hoping to be there for Stephen, Kyle joins him on his way to the hospital.
It's been a long time since I've seen him. This wasn't how I envisioned our next meeting.
Yes.
Dr. Keel.
Then, Kyle suddenly experiences an inexplicable energy, but hoping not to alarm Stephen, he keeps it to himself. Meanwhile, at the house, Jessi arrives for her session with Nicole and checks in on Lori.
You look awful.
Wow. Blunt.
Does it hurt?
It's the creep who did this stole the necklace Declan gave me and I want it back.
At school, with their friendship now repaired, Kyle waits for Declan to finish practice and chats with him.
What about Foss?
We can't be sure it was him. I just can't imagine he'd go so far.
Because he's such a model citizen.
At the house, Jessi attends her session with Nicole and shares a few things.
Are you writing that down? Not exactly. Is that the way she normally behaves when she's upset with you?
That evening, Kyle spends time in his room drawing an image that's been stuck in his head since the hospital visit, but fails to identify what it is.
You recognize this?
It's church, dude.
How do you know that?
My father belonged to the congregation.
Later, Declan visits Lori to check how she's doing, and is surprised to find her picking out colors to paint her room.
Did you expect to find me in the fetal position?
I wouldn't blame you. Well, that's great, but I also think you can let yourself freak out a little.
Meanwhile, Kyle and Amanda visit Steven's father at the hospital, hoping to get some clarity.
Do you think he knows we're here?
The doctor said no.
You've got to have faith that they're happening for a reason.
Upon Nicole's request, Emily visits Nicole at the home office to discuss Jessi.
I saw the dynamic myself when you showed up at the dance. You seemed to get very hostile and aggressive.
I think I made a mistake bringing Jessi to you.
Elsewhere, at the rack, while waiting for Declan, Jessi retraces Nicole's handwriting movement, writes out the letters, and learns Nicole's analysis of her.
Is socially manipulative and has no remorse.
Kyle spends hours trying to figure out how he could have possibly drawn an image of a church he's never seen, and falls asleep exhausted. However, when he wakes up, he's stunned to see that he has somehow covered his whole wall with more drawings. Elsewhere, Emily informs Julian of her troubles with Nicole.
She has wants and desires and feelings like any other teenager. It's taken a lot longer than you led me to believe, and I miss my little...
Later, when she returns home, Emily finds Jessi bawling her eyes out.
Everyone feels that way sometimes.
Do you? I want that. I want to change.
Seemingly just realizing her mistakes, Jessi holds the necklace she stole from Lori and continues crying. The next day, Emily calls her daughter Paige's school to check on her and is terrified by what she learns.
Paige! Come on.
Oh, God, sweetie Paige. He said to tell you that Metacorp always has your family in mind.
Meanwhile, on the night of the party, Declan surprises Lori and sneaks in through her bedroom window, like old times.
So, you're not painting. I had a feeling you might not be up to going.
Do you mind sticking around for a while?
The next day, at school, Lori is shocked to find her necklace in her locker, but fails to figure out who put it there. At the hospital, Kyle continues trying to figure out Mr. Traeger's last message, and finally gets a break.
You really did it. This is what he's been trying to tell me.
Fearing for her family's safety, Emily follows the orders and takes Jessi Metacorp.
You made the right choice. Don't worry, we'll take good care of her.
Later, Kyle and Amanda spend some quality time together, kiss, and start a relationship. After receiving a message from Tom informing him that he has returned, an angry Kyle goes to confront him at the warehouse.
You think I did it only to keep him away, to protect you?
By threatening my friend and hurting my sister?
15 years ago, at the Zizek's facility in the woods, in his office, Adam carefully secures his safe in the wall and closely inspects the monitor, displaying the status of the new project.
There's the genius at work, Adam. You're trying to better human life.
The subject is a person, William. A child.
At present, Declan visits Kyle in his room with disturbing news.
Lori's got this screwed up idea to drive to a spot in the woods where some hunter was killed. Whatever it is, me and Andy are in.
Then, out of nowhere, Jessi arrives at the house, joins the group, and completely ignoring Declan, greets Kyle.
How did you get in here? The door is open. Can I come? You don't even know where we're going.
The group heads to the woods, and as they arrive at the area where the hunter was murdered, Jessi starts experiencing flashbacks from the time she was there, but fails to understand the implications. Suddenly, Lori enters a large tunnel and disappears, alarming the group.
I have to go get her.
I'll go with you.
Everyone stay here. We'll be back as soon as we can.
Kyle follows the figure, which turns out to be Adam, and suddenly finds himself transported to the memory of the past and watches as the professor sends his men after Adam.
You can't do this. It's already done. Move him out. Run!
Then, Kyle suddenly sees Tom, follows him, finds himself transported to the past, enters a room where he spent the first few years of his life, and watches himself in the pod.
I don't know why you insist on playing that. It can't comprehend it. I'm prepping for a data input retention test. Don't let anyone through the door.
Worried for the trio's safety, Amanda and Jessi go into the tunnel, and as they navigate their way around the old facility, Jessi bombards Amanda with questions about her relationship with Kyle.
Listen, just so you know, Kyle is with me.
Kyle and I have a connection.
Jessi's anger triggers an earthquake, which activates the security doors. The doors separate Jessi and Amanda and trap Lori on the other side.
Declan, can you guys hear me? Declan!
Luckily, soon Amanda and Lori run into each other and embrace with relief, while Kyle is once again transported back to a past memory.
But the question, he outputs the answer just like he's supposed to.
For one, it won't process any of our strategic warfare scenarios.
Soon, Declan and Kyle are reunited with Amanda and Lori, while Jessi remains alone on the other side, plagued by distressing memories from the time she was there. Suddenly, methane gas starts leaking, which freaks out the group. Kyle suddenly remembers the safest way out of the facility, directs the rest to follow it, and returns to search for Jessi. But a few moments later, he once again sees memories from the past that finally reveal why the company wanted him terminated.
I'd somehow rejected the information they wanted me to process.
781227 is no longer cooperating.
Meanwhile, outside, Andy and Josh hang out and wait for the rest to return.
Let's count to 3 and both say what's on our minds at the same time. 3.
I have
like
cancer.
What?
Before they can discuss the shocking revelation, the duo hears cries of help and rushes to help their friends out of the tunnel. Inside the facility, Kyle finds Jessi trembling in fear and calmly helps her out. To the shock of everyone, Kyle then returns to the facility to retrieve the box he had seen Adam locking inside a safe, finds it, but struggles to leave due to the rising methane gas. While flashbacks of Tom, who had risked everything to resuscitate him after the termination order plays out in his mind, Kyle drags himself and barely gets out just in time. After the chaos of the day, the group heads to the rack to unwind.
Did I ever tell you about the healing power of song?
Is this what you wanted? I had to pry it in your hands.
Later, Kyle heads to the warehouse to apologize to Tom.
You've always been there for me. You're the reason I'm alive. This was Baylin's. Can't get it open.
Then, at home, Kyle goes through his memory of the past once more to find out who could have tampered with Adam's message and is shocked by what he learns.
It was a little dramatic, don't you think?
Had to be sure he bought it.
I didn't see that coming. Who can Kyle trust? A few days later, after analyzing the box from Adam's safe thoroughly, Kyle is disheartened to realize that the ring Adam had given him is the key, as he had pawned it earlier. At Metacorp, Emily meets with Julian to give him an update.
How'd your trip with Stephen Traeger go?
He opened up about his dead father. I'd say we bonded.
That evening, at the Traeger house, the family excitedly prepares for family dinner night.
We have a guest for dinner. This is my boss, Julian Ballantyne.
So nice to finally meet you, Mr. Ballantyne.
Oh, you must be Kyle. I heard so much about you from Stephen.
Amanda then arrives and is warmly greeted by Kyle.
You look beautiful.
I didn't know what to wear.
You wore what you were wearing the first time I saw you, when you were playing the piano.
Dinner is soon served, and everyone gathers around the table to enjoy the delicious meal.
You know, I almost brought champagne, but I figured we'd save that till after the test this week. I'd like to propose a toast, if I may, to Stephen.
Then, Kyle is shocked to suddenly notice the ring on Julian's finger, but manages to keep calm through dinner.
So you're turning neural impulses into computer data.
Sounds like you understand this stuff better than I do.
The next day at Amanda's house, Lori helps Amanda pick an outfit for her date with Kyle.
Trust me, if I wear something lame, he'll remember it.
With any other guy, I'd say don't waste your anytime minutes, but he spent the last year pining over you from a distance.
At the rack, Josh finds Andy and, trying to maintain his composure, approaches her.
You should get some popsicles then. You know, just in case the cancer's back.
Please don't use the C word.
At the house, having learned that Stephen had become an integral part of Metacorp, Nicole congratulates him.
Emily, hi. What's up?
Oh, crap.
Following Declan's advice, Kyle decides to find out more about Julian and accompanies Stephen as he goes to work.
I had to face Ballantyne on his own ground to try and figure out what we were up against. Ballantyne's goal seemed like a noble one.
As Kyle watches intently, Julian takes off the ring, puts it in the safe, and leads Stephen and Kyle inside.
Kyle, I'd like to introduce you to the Cerebral Impulse Relay. But after the system's integration test, she'll be up and running.
Later, Kyle visits Tom at the warehouse.
And there's enough security at Metacorp to hide whatever it is he's hiding.
What is he doing here? What are you doing here?
He wants to help us. Like you said, Foss.
I want to get my ring back.
Elsewhere, Emily drives Jess to the Traeger house for her session.
I like your glasses.
I lost my contacts.
While Kyle continues planning the heist, he receives a call from Amanda.
Are you all right?
Yes. I'm sorry, but something came up.
Elsewhere, Jessi sneaks into Emily's room while she's at work, breaks into her safe, finds a picture of Paige and her school calendar, and studies it thoroughly. The next day, hoping to execute their plan, Kyle calls Steven.
Well, I'm heading into the systems integration task. I can have security let you in.
At the house, Lori receives a confusing call.
Mr. Traeger stayed here last weekend, and it seems he left his contact lenses in his room.
Wrong number. Okay.
At Metacorp, the trio begins their carefully mapped out plan.
Give me complete control of all the building's video cameras, doors, and retina scanners. I'll be able to switch the image of Foster's retina with Ballantyne's.
From Julian's computer, Kyle accesses the mainframe and traps both the assistant and the security guard, allowing Tom to access the safe. However, just as he's about to open it, he's shocked to see Lori arrive, asking to speak to her father. Meanwhile, Kyle notices his code name on Julian's computer, and as he proceeds to open the file, he is shocked to see another titled 781228 and realizes that the project had continued after him. Unfortunately, minutes later, before Tom can get to the ring, Julian, Steven, and Emily return from the testing, which was a success, and congratulate one another.
Well, looks like you two have your jobs for another day. What's wrong?
I need to talk to you in private.
Soon, Julian is alerted to a security breach and starts searching for the source.
That guard is Kyle's handler.
Ballantyne's headed this way.
Julian runs as fast as he can and tries to pry open the elevator doors, which soon close. And while Julian tries to yank his arm out, Kyle takes the ring. However, as the trio then tries to escape, Declan falls down the stairs and is injured.
The ring is all you need.
What?
Now go.
You guys definitely owe Tom. Despite his best attempts to fight off the numerous security guards, Tom is captured.
Taking the room 237.
Later, still shocked by Jessi's way of drawing, Nicole compares her drawings of the fire with Kyle's, draws lines where there was an outline, and is shocked to recognize the symbol as the same one Kyle had drawn while recovering his memory. Elsewhere, Jessi follows the calendar she studied and, unbeknownst to Emily, goes to the birthday party to meet Paige, draws her a few pictures, and after spending a few minutes with her, leaves. Later, Emily arrives to pick up her daughter.
Is this me? No, that's my new friend. Yeah, she made me these.
Okay, sweetie. Let's go.
At the rack, Andy finally confides in Josh.
I got the test results. Let's just say I'm gonna need a lot of popsicles.
Sherry, okay?
My favorite.
At Metacorp, Brian meets with Julian.
Someone stole my ring, but it's being taken care of.
You really don't have any idea how important that ring is.
At the house, Kyle unlocks Adam's box with the ring and is shocked out of his mind to find a picture of Adam with a woman who looks exactly like Jessi. Then, as Kyle tries to figure out the meaning of the phrase written on the back of the picture, he gets a call from Tom.
Well, you know it's safe to meet. I gotta go.
The next day, while everyone prepares to go to a local charity event, Nicole approaches Kyle.
How well do you know Jessi Hollander? Has she ever seen any of your drawings?
It was a logo for a company Adam Baylin started.
Later at the event, Lori runs into Jessi.
You got your necklace back. Yeah, it just showed up in my locker.
Then, while everyone eagerly awaits the draw to compete in the Hands on a Hybrid contest, in which the winner gets to keep the car while the contributions go to charity, Kyle pulls Declan aside to talk to him.
But I've been thinking, that picture has been locked in Adam's box for 15 years. Maybe Jessi's like me.
Then, the lucky competitors are announced.
Contestant number 6, Jessi Hollander.
As the competition is about to start, hoping to win the car for Andy, who really wants it, Josh approaches one of the competitors.
Let me cut to the chase. So name and price, man. $100. Dude.
Then, as the competitors start thinning out, Kyle approaches Jessi.
What would you do if you won?
I don't know, just drive.
Sure there's a reason.
Meanwhile, Steven, who had been called into work at the last minute, runs into Emily at the office.
Right now, I'm the only one who can babysit the diagnostic software.
Stats Analysis has been compiling a test pool for months.
At the charity event, Kyle continues his efforts to get to know Jessi better.
I want to understand why you think the way you do.
Nicole's really nice, but I like talking to you better. It's just easier than talking to other people.
At Metacorp, still curious about the rush testing, Steven calls Nicole.
Oh, Emily's there too?
Listen, why don't I pick up some food and bring it on down later?
Meanwhile, on the other side, Julian prepares to start the test on Tom.
Each time he answers a question, memory is triggered. Certain areas of the brain will light up. If it can work on him, We can break through Kyle's firewall.
At the charity event, Andy finds out that Josh had bribed his way into the competition and confronts him.
Cheating at a charity event?
You don't even care about this fundraiser.
That doesn't mean you can buy your way in.
He was just trying to make you happy, Andy. Josh runs after Andy and loses his spot in the competition, leaving only Kyle and Jessi in the running.
This isn't normal. I shouldn't be seeing those things.
Keep listening to my voice, tuning out all other sound.
As Kyle and Jessi hold hands to start the process, Amanda is disheartened by what she sees and heads off to find Lori, who's reviewing footage from the night of the Alterna dance.
Oh my God. She's the one who attacked me.
At Metacorp, Tom is drugged and the test is started, but soon a power shortage occurs.
The machine's taxing our energy.
Then find the flaw and eliminate the problem. Concentrate on a solution. We have to see how far this machine can go.
At the charity event, Kyle and Jessi continue exploring Jessi's memory.
I saw this in that place underground. I don't know where I am.
Don't be afraid.
Emily's there. But I don't remember this happening.
Soon, the overloaded circuit causes an explosion, and both Kyle and Jessi are thrown off, but survive the ordeal.
I knew the truth about who she was, but how could I explain it to her?
On the other side, after calming down, Andy approaches Josh, and the duo make up, kiss, and start a relationship.
So you're ready to go public?
But you'll always have to stand on my left, or it won't make sense.
Kyle then reveals to Jessi that he doesn't have a belly button, and amused to finally find someone like her, Jessi touches his abdomen as if to verify his claims. Soon, Amanda walks in, misinterprets the interaction, and runs out crying.
I trusted you when you broke our date to the concert.
Amanda, it's not what you think.
No? What was it then?
Later, Emily returns home and is shocked out of her mind to find Jessi and Paige in the kitchen.
I want to know who I really am.
A couple of hours later, while Kyle reflects on everything he had discovered, Nicole tells him distressing news.
Kyle, I just spoke to the police. She's gone. She's run away.
The next morning, with Jessi still in the wind, Nicole calls the police.
Captain, Jessi should be treated as a psychiatric case.
Suddenly, Kyle's head starts to hurt and his vision blurs, and as he proceeds to sit down, everything goes back to normal, and the pain disappears. On the other side of the house, while Lori and Josh plan their revenge on Jessi for what she did, Stephen walks in.
How you doing, Lori?
What do you think?
But don't you dare treat me like I'm some peer you can cut down with some snide little comments.
Outside, Kyle finds Josh pacing and joins him. Before Kyle can run after Josh, his head starts to spin and brings him to his knees, but he recovers a few minutes later. Then, hoping to get some help, Kyle, Lori, and Josh call each of their friends for help and proceed to leave their house.
I don't think anyone should leave. Jessi's still unaccounted for, and we don't know what her state of mind is.
At Metacorp, Julian and Brian discuss the test.
You can't put Kyle in that chair.
Actually, I can.
At the house, Amanda, who has since calmed down, visits Kyle.
And I do believe in you, even if it doesn't seem like I should.
Then, Kyle receives a troubling call from Emily.
She knows the truth about who she really is, and she's run away.
Declan arrives at the house to see Kyle and checks in on Lori.
She beat me up! I know that!
Then you understand that she deserves whatever she gets.
From his room, Kyle listens to all the arguments and becomes distressed, blaming himself for everyone's frustration. Then, as his desperation to end all the hostility mounts, Kyle goes into a dreamlike state and sees Adam.
Why are you worried about her after everything she's done?
In the living room, while playing a game with Josh, Andy drops a bombshell.
Are you, dying tomorrow?
How many cancer patients do you know that die overnight?
Kyle, still asleep, continues trying to figure out how to proceed.
You need to slow down, Kyle. And think.
Meanwhile, Jessi heads to the woods, where she had murdered the hunter, and becomes flooded with memories and struggles to accept what she had done. At Metacorp, Stephen arrives for a quick check-in and runs into Emily.
Sensitive.
It's okay. We're all under a lot of pressure.
Later, Kyle wakes up and talks to Declan about his plan.
Everything that's happened to this family is all because of me.
At the office, Stephen sneaks into the testing center and gets the shock of his life.
Strong, stoic, Tom Voss.
Meanwhile, Kyle writes Nicole a letter, and just as he proceeds to sneak out through his window, Nicole catches him.
I wanted to tell you, but
you knew I wouldn't let you go.
This is important.
Kyle then rushes to the woods and finds Jessi. At Metacorp, Emily visits Tom in the interrogation room.
Now, Kyle's run off after Jessi. Valentine's ordered me to dispose of you.
As soon as he frees himself, Tom calls Kyle.
Kyle, your phone.
I said kill it.
Kyle is lucky to have you in his corner, Tom. Annoyed to see Kyle's cell phone signals disappear, Julian lashes out at Emily.
You better. And quickly. to get the hell out of my office.
At the house, a troubled Steven shares everything he witnessed with Nicole, who in turn reveals the secrets she's been hiding.
What does that have to do with it?
Everything is connected somehow.
In the woods, Kyle and Jessi walk as fast as they can and manage to find their way back to the car.
How could you hurt her that way?
I couldn't control myself.
What is that supposed to mean?
At the house, Steven shares more of his discovery with Nicole.
I found 15 different articles on Kyle's parents over the past several years, all of them glowing tributes.
Elsewhere, Kyle and Jessi shine a light through the hole in the ring, which displays a map. Follow it and find a diner called JP Diner, where the picture of Adam and his girlfriend was taken. Kyle then calls Declan from the diner to update him.
Has Foss been around?
Foss?
I asked him to watch over the family.
Then, feeling caught in the middle between Kyle and Lori, who demand to know what's going on, Declan heads home. At the diner, the granddaughter serves the duo their drinks.
Route 12. A flood washed that out years ago. What would you want to do up there?
Then, while Kyle daydreams about Amanda, he suddenly sees Jessi. Meanwhile, Declan heads to his car and finds Tom parked nearby.
I think the family's starting to put things together.
Yeah, I heard.
What if they find out the truth?
Elsewhere, Kyle and Jessi leave the diner and head to Route 12.
I don't know if we'll find anything, but we might.
At the house, the Traegers gather to compile what each one of them knows about Kyle and figure out who he really is. Elsewhere, in the woods, Jessi and Kyle reach a cabin and cautiously enter it. Then, as they inspect the inside, they find a locked door, and Kyle realizes that the song they learned about at the diner is the key. Hence, he calls Amanda for help.
Do you know a song called She Could Be You?
No, never heard of it.
Meanwhile, at the house, the Traegers call Declan over and ask him to tell them everything he knows about Kyle.
Don't call the police.
He's looked out for Kyle. From the beginning.
At the cabin, Amanda calls Kyle and plays him the song, which he memorizes.
I'm leaving tomorrow. Will you be back in time to say goodbye?
Then, Kyle unlocks the door by playing the song on the lock device, and as the duo proceeds inside, Jessi profusely thanks Kyle for everything he's done for her. Moments later, the duo enters the room, and Kyle gets the shock of his life as he sees the comatose body of Adam. Then, whose ashes did Kyle scatter in the river? Meanwhile, at the house, the Traegers question Tom.
But Declan said that you looked out for Kyle from the beginning. What did he mean?
At the cabin, Kyle tries to communicate with Adam. Then, Jessi and Kyle hold hands, and as they open their minds to each other, Kyle receives a disturbing warning from Adam.
Kyle, stop. She's betrayed you.
Then, to Kyle's horror, Jessi jumps over the cliff. Shocked out of his mind, Kyle tries to jump after her, but is stopped by Tom, who appears out of nowhere.
She took what? Everything. All the information in my head. Everything I got from Jessi.
I can't even imagine how that conversation would go. That evening, Kyle returns home and finds his family stressed out of their mind. Kyle then tells them everything, from his conception in the lab to Jessi's fall from the cliff.
I warned them of the most recent danger. Matacorp.
The next morning, while Kyle stays in his room, wondering how the Traegers took the revelation and if he will still have a family, Nicole walks in.
I never meant for any harm to come to this family.
Something wonderful happened to this family.
At the open house, fearing Lori might blame him for her breakup with Declan, Kyle approaches her.
I'm free.
Free?
Yes.
Then, hoping to get the ordeal over with once and for all, Kyle approaches Julian.
I must admit, I'm a little surprised to see you.
Meanwhile, Steven discreetly tries to plug in the connector. On the other side, Kyle gets the shock of his life.
You could call it that, but she's in a lot of pain.
Later, as the plan backfires, Steven and Kyle are both locked up together.
When it was in my mind, it was like a compressed file. Like my brain compartmentalized it.
Touching Jessi's writing covering the walls, Kyle enters her mind and convinces her to transfer all of the data to him instead of Matacorp. As Kyle is strapped in, Emily escorts Jessi to the lobby.
Go back the way we came. Take the elevator to the lobby. Get the hell out of here.
Then, Nicole runs into a terrified Jessi in the elevator and begs her to help Kyle any way she can. Meanwhile, on the other side, Julian orders the extraction to begin, and Kyle tries to hold out against the machine as hard as he can.
Kill him. Get him out of here.
A sudden power surge then shakes the building, during which Steven helps the duo complete the mission. Then, as soon as they are finished, as the city goes into a complete blackout, Jessi falls unconscious. At Matacorp, Emily confronts Julian.
One thing I learned in Iraq, you can only fly under the radar for so long.
Later, Tom arrives at the house to drop off all of Adam's research.
I'm gonna work as hard as I can every day so that I can be worth it for you.
This is so beautiful. Then, after spending the whole day with her at the open house, Declan drives Lori to her house. Later, Kyle returns home and is delighted to find Amanda waiting for him in his room.
I'll call and text.
That night, while Kyle enjoys a candlelit dinner with his family at the hospital, just when she thinks everything is over, Jessi gets a surprising visit.
I was there. I'm the one who took the picture.
A few days later, after being discharged from the hospital, Jessi moves in with Brian, who becomes her legal guardian, and readjusts to life. Meanwhile, relieved that he no longer has to hide any secrets from his family, Kyle feels free and starts to look forward to his future. One morning, while Kyle casually practices levitation in the backyard, Carol sees him from next door and is shocked out of her mind.
Have a nice day.
Couldn't agree with you more, Stephen. Then, Stephen heads to his office to collect his things and runs into Emily.
I know what happened with Valentine was horrible, but his agenda was his own, not Metacorp's.
Later, at the career fair, Kyle runs into Jessi.
I know you don't trust him, but he's taking good care of me.
Jessi leads Kyle to the roof and, looking for excitement, jumps off the roof and lands safely on the ground. Kyle is shocked to see that Jessi is inadvertently captured on film, but is soon relieved to learn that no one can recognize her identity. However, despite not knowing the identity of the mysterious jumper, the whole school becomes fascinated by the incredible incident. Concerned by the growing attention, Kyle approaches Jessi.
They're talking about the mystery jumper. There's a difference.
Later, Kyle informs his parents about Jessi.
Can you do that? Probably.
She has to quit showing off.
At school, just like Jessi had dreamed, she becomes quite famous, and her peers become fascinated by her, wondering how she could have accomplished the impossible. The next day, at the career fair, Josh approaches Kyle with an idea.
With your mind, maybe you could find the cure for cancer.
Then, Kyle becomes frustrated to see Emily representing Metacorp and confronts her.
And I want to make it up to you.
How?
That evening, Nicole finds Kyle studying brochures from the career fair.
Am I wrong? Judging Jessi for what she's doing?
At the rack, Josh and Lori observe as Jessi has fun surrounded by a group of friends, and she soon approaches them.
Are you going to Preston's party this weekend?
That night, a conflicted Brian visits Nicole at the house. The next day, at the career fair, a group of students organizes a roof party. Then, to Lori's dismay, Jessi joins the party.
Don't encourage her. She's a poser. I'm not a poser.
Kyle rushes to the roof, but despite his best efforts, fails to convince Jessi not to jump. Then, desperate to keep the secret hidden, Kyle concentrates on a puddle of water underneath Jessi's feet and causes her to fall backwards. Humiliated by the incident, Jessi runs away in despair. Then, Kyle checks on a devastated Jessi.
I didn't mean to make you look bad in front of everyone.
At the fair, Josh shares his decisions with Andy.
But I've changed. And I'm going to do something important with my life and make it different.
Good for you, Josh. That night, Brian checks in on Jessi in her room.
Did you learn anything interesting?
As soon as Brian leaves, Jessi leaves her bed, sneaks through the window, and jumps down from the balcony. While playing outside with Josh one morning, Kyle is pleasantly surprised to see Amanda returning home and rushes to greet her.
How's New York?
Amazing. Everything I imagined.
Despite her excited demeanor, Kyle senses that Amanda is struggling and asks her.
Guess we need to talk.
Later, as Kyle prepares to leave, Jessi knocks on his window.
Can I come in?
There's a front door.
Well, I wanted to see you. This is quicker.
Then, pushing his fear aside, Kyle heads to Amanda's house.
But you said we need to talk.
I'm sorry I can't see you.
Troubled by this, Kyle shares everything with his parents.
Kyle, I'm afraid Mrs. Bloom has every right to send Amanda back, whether she wants to go or not.
Meanwhile, next door, Carol tries to talk to her sulking daughter.
I know this is hard for you to understand.
That you're keeping me prisoner?
Then, Lori, Kyle, and Josh head to the rack to devise a plan that, despite Amanda being locked in her house, will let Kyle talk to her.
How do you know what we've been talking about? You just sat down.
As planned, Jessi goes to Amanda's house.
Well, whoever you are, Amanda is not allowed to have visitors.
Later, Lori throws rocks at Amanda's bedroom window, causing an infuriated Carol to shut the blinds. That evening, with the help of Josh, Kyle concentrates enough to control electrons through a wire, sending current to Amanda's room and turning the lights off. Then, using a projector, Kyle asks her to meet him at the rack and gives her the new alarm codes for her house. Amanda sneaks out, gets to the rack, and sees it beautifully decorated for their dinner. Everyone watches on with relief as Amanda gladly joins Kyle for dinner, except Jessi, who, despite helping the cause, gets jealous.
I shouldn't have said that. I totally embarrassed you.
No.
When will you ever learn, Jessi? Later, the Traeger kids return home to find their parents furious.
Do I get one last call?
No. But you do get to go to your rooms.
Elsewhere, Brian catches Jessi as she sneaks back into her room in the dead of night.
I expected that it would take you longer to get comfortable living here before we were ready.
Then, as Jessi excitedly jumps into her bed, she is surprised to find the missing track from the diner and closely inspects it. At the house, Kyle receives an anonymous message advising him to listen, and when he tries to find out who the sender is, the Latnok symbol comes on the computer screen. However, before he can process this, Kyle hears a knock on his window and cautiously opens it.
I didn't get on the plane. Can you hide me?
Amanda quickly climbs into Kyle's room and shares her troubles.
Maybe your mom will understand when you explain it to her.
The next morning, elsewhere, Brian finds Jessi fondly listening to the track.
Yeah, where did you get that? That was with my personal things.
Brian then leaves to check his cabinet and is surprised to find his copy of the track exactly where he left it. At the house, after breakfast, Kyle prepares to help Amanda sneak out through his window.
Keep your window closed unless you want Josh to spray your whole room.
Then, after a lot of close calls, Amanda attempts to leave through the front door, but panics when she hears the doorbell ring and hides in Nicole and Steven's bedroom, while Nicole answers the door.
Someone files a complaint about a former ward of the state. They're legally bound to check it out.
Nicole and Steven join Constance for a meeting.
So, you first met Kyle at the detention center.
Panicked, Kyle, Josh, and Lori discuss what to do with Kyle's bathtub bed and Lori's cartons of beer so that they can make the best impression. And after minutes of brainstorming, Kyle rushes to his room.
Maybe we should tell her.
What? That I never got on my plane and hid out here in your bedroom all night?
As soon as Kyle steps out, he runs into Nicole. Then, just when Kyle proceeds to escort the girls out of his window, Declan blocks the exit with the ladder and jumps up to Lori's room so that he can help her get rid of the beer, just in time for the social worker's inspection of her room. Meanwhile, inside Kyle's room, the girls fight. As an angry Jessi storms out with Kyle in tow, she runs into the social worker.
And you are?
Jessi, a friend of Kyle's?
Jessi leaves the house, and as she walks away, she senses someone watching her, but fails to catch a glimpse of her stalker. Relieved to have successfully hidden the beer away, Josh, Declan, and Lori discuss their next move.
Tell the boy something he doesn't already know.
Not a good time, Josh.
Meanwhile, downstairs, Constance interviews Kyle.
And what was it like coming back here after your parents died?
While sending Amanda a signal, Kyle continues answering the questions.
I could go on and on because this family means everything to me.
Kyle provides enough distractions for Amanda to safely leave the house, but as soon as she makes her way out and opens the front door, she gets the shock of her life as she sees her mother standing on the other side.
Someone from the airline called telling me you never got on the plane.
Constance then opts to see Kyle's room as her final inspection.
We've encouraged him to make his room his own, which includes some unorthodox choices.
Then, as they enter Kyle's room, Nicole and Kyle are pleasantly surprised to see a proper bed instead of the bathtub and breathe a sigh of relief. Afterwards, surprised by the turn of events, Steven joins the kids in Kyle's room.
Lori, you have how many cases of beer in this house?
Later, Kyle speaks to Nicole in her home office.
I just want to say that I know letting Amanda stay here without telling you was wrong.
That night, while Kyle listens to the track in his room, Amanda knocks on his window.
It's the one you asked me to play. You never told me why I needed it.
Elsewhere, Constance presents her report to Latnok. A few days later, Amanda starts a job at the rack, and Josh shows her around while Kyle rushes there to become her first customer. Then, a few minutes later, the manager, JT, puts Josh in charge and leaves for the day. Elsewhere, Brian calls in Jessi for a serious chat.
They don't see your potential, and neither does Kyle. Or he won't.
Confused, Jessi heads to the Traeger house to speak to Nicole, who politely turns her away as she is no longer her therapist. At the rack, Kyle helps Amanda, who's having trouble behind the counter.
You know, the storage room is our only chance of privacy. At least until my mom cools down.
Then, as the orders start piling up, Josh recruits Kyle to help them out, and Kyle starts by trying to fix the smoothie machine Amanda broke. Then, Jessi comes into the rack looking for him.
I could give you a hand.
That's okay. I think I can manage.
Seeing this interaction from a distance, Amanda fumes and wonders what it's about. Meanwhile, as Lori leaves the establishment, she stumbles into a man, spilling her coffee.
Let me buy you a coffee.
Inside the rack, Kyle and Amanda struggle to keep up with the orders.
Just give him what he wants.
What is wrong?
The customer is always right.
Later, at the end of the busy and chaotic day, Kyle counts the money in the cash register. Later, Lori returns home and runs into the same man from the rack.
Stay away from me! Mr. Traeger? Mark? Mark?
At the rack, angry that Kyle still hasn't made any time for her, Jessi storms out.
Let her go. Why is that so hard?
Later, Josh apologizes to Kyle.
It's okay. I'll take the heat for this. Amanda's in the clear.
Kyle then tries to apologize to Amanda.
I'm sorry about the smoothie machine.
It's fine.
Later, Nicole calls Brian.
I just wanted to let you know I saw Jessi earlier and she seemed troubled.
Kyle catches up to Amanda and walks her home.
You better get inside before your mom sees us.
Then, as he returns, Kyle receives a message asking him to meet at the warehouse. Elsewhere, just as Adam feared, Brian trains Jessi vigorously, and she starts pushing herself too hard, day and night. That evening, Kyle updates the Traegers about his meeting with Adam.
He said it's imperative that I reconnect with Jessi.
Then, Kyle heads to Jessi's house to talk to her.
You won't take my calls?
How about the front door?
Jessi and Kyle rush to find the lecture hall. Then, the duo runs into Steven, who comes up with an idea to test his students.
Kyle, is there anything you and Jessi need besides a little quiet?
A timer.
Mark then suddenly recognizes Jessi and takes the duo to the bar.
Well, I just wanted to see if the sequel matches up to the original.
Hoping to prove she can be as great as her mother, Jessi starts playing pool, which concerns Kyle.
It's sad. I heard that she just lost it.
Meanwhile, hoping to help out Amanda, who is the head of the prom committee, plan the perfect night, even though she's not allowed to attend it, Lori and Hillary convince Declan to drive them all to the university so that they can speak to a famous DJ and book him for prom. At the bar, hoping to interrupt Jessi's game so that they can leave, Kyle offers to play against her. However, using her abilities, she moves the balls and sabotages him. Soon, as Kyle orders Jessi to leave, he gets into an argument with a college student who throws a punch. Luckily, Declan gets there in time to defend Kyle, and a brawl ensues. Then, while trying to avoid the chaos, Mark sees a panicked Lori, rescues her, and soon she's shocked to learn that he is the famous DJ they came to speak to. On the other side, Kyle carefully escorts Amanda out and waits outside for Jessi, who comes out a few minutes later, apologizing to him.
Jessi,
Kyle, it's fine.
we'll find Steven and get you to a hospital.
Later, Kyle recounts what happened to Adam.
And I had no right to ask you to be responsible for Jessi.
When he returns home, Kyle runs into Andy, who had spent the day with Josh.
Andy, everything's gonna be okay.
Hoping to comfort her, Kyle hugs Andy tightly. But after she leaves, he's shocked to see that his nose is bleeding, just like Jessi's had been when she healed herself. That night, Kyle sleepwalks to the kitchen, where Steven and Nicole are discussing their anniversary, which is the next day, and shocks them.
No, let's just put him back to bed.
I'm not finished yet.
Nicole and Steven cautiously escort Kyle to his room and are more shocked to find it covered in similar drawings. The next morning, a concerned Nicole checks on Kyle.
Emotional energy.
You think that's why I'm sleepwalking?
While keeping Nicole's advice in mind, Kyle heads to the rack to relax, but finds that simplifying his life is harder than he thought.
People I cared about needed me, and I didn't want to disappoint them.
Kyle gets to work immediately and makes Declan and Josh a study guide. Kyle returns home and continues trying to help his family, but it continues going sideways.
I was losing control of my abilities.
Thanks, Kyle. You know, you're a natural in the kitchen.
Noticing that something is clearly wrong with Kyle, Josh approaches Nicole.
Find someone as smart as Kyle to fill in.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Meanwhile, Carol drops Amanda off at the house.
I just want to say that I appreciate your trust in me, and that I want to continue to build that trust.
Kyle goes to his room to rest, but before he knows it, he goes into a trance until Nicole's voice wakes him up.
I drew the pictures again.
Meanwhile, Jessi arrives at the house.
Josh called, said you needed help studying. Kyle's letting you down.
While Amanda comforts Kyle in his room, Jessi starts tutoring Josh.
Name the 6 muscles that control eye movement.
Seeing Jessi leading the study session, Declan bails and hangs out with Lori while Hillary offers to help Steven cook. Then, Mark arrives to speak to Steven, and soon Lori asks for his opinion on her prom song. Downstairs, Kyle pulls Jessi aside and asks her for help.
You knew something was wrong with me this morning. Maybe you can get in my head and figure out what's happening.
This conversation is soon interrupted by the arrival of an excited Andy, who jumps up with joy as soon as she enters the house.
My test results are back. I'm officially in remission!
While everyone celebrates the amazing news and congratulates Andy, Jessi realizes what Kyle had done and pulls him aside to speak to him.
Andy's cancer was blood-related. Manipulating blood cells to heal a cut.
Later, Kyle joins everyone in the kitchen and offers to help, but soon he gets disoriented and clumsy and causes a small fire, which Steven quickly puts out. Desperate to help Kyle, Amanda rushes home and starts playing the piano, knowing he loves to hear it and hoping it will comfort him. Meanwhile, desperate to get some answers, Nicole and Steven send the kids out and invite Adam.
Kyle speaks very fondly of you.
Well, he's told us a lot about you, too.
At the rack, Mark meets Lori.
But did you take it upon yourself to rewrite my song?
At the house, while Adam and Kyle listen to the song, Nicole joins them.
The subconscious is trying to tell you to listen. You need to clear your mind. Block out any outside sound.
The family gathers and tries to put Kyle's drawings in order and gets a shocking answer.
She can't be.
Later, after Adam leaves, Nicole checks in on Kyle.
I did actually have some anxiety about it. Don't start worrying about how Adam will get along with the family. You'll stress yourself out.
Kyle then rushes to answer the door. A few days later at school, the principal calls Josh to his office.
It's just not possible to make such a dramatic leap without...
Meanwhile, Kyle spends the whole day trying to learn the perfect way to ask Amanda to the prom before heading to the warehouse to meet with Adam.
Whoever sent this is very concerned about remaining unexposed.
Elsewhere, Brian keeps pushing Jessi relentlessly.
That's too heavy.
Be positive.
That evening, Kyle receives an anonymous message asking him to keep the secret and tries to find out the sender to no avail. The next morning, Nicole goes to school to confront the principal.
He's finally made a commitment to his education. You should be applauding that, not condemning him without any proof.
Someone hacked into the district's computer system.
Now certain who was behind the ordeal, Kyle confronts Jessi. Then, as Kyle walks into the hallway, he's confused to see everyone smiling at him and wonders what's going on. Later, worried he won't be able to impress the university coaches with his ankle still injured, Declan approaches Jessi.
You done? I'm working out there next week to show him what I can do.
Meanwhile, the principal warns Kyle that he will cancel the prom if he doesn't come forward with the website, forcing Kyle to speak to Jessi again.
If I show Hooper my website, he could trace the IP addresses of every computer that logged onto it.
Elsewhere, Brian calls the Latnok executives.
I think that you'll all be very impressed with what she can do.
That evening, while trying to come up with a solution for the cheating scandal, Kyle receives a message asking him to help Jessi, as Brian won't stop until he destroys her.
I hate to say this, Kyle, but I don't think I can get involved when it comes to Jessi.
The next day, Kyle goes to speak to Declan and finds him playing basketball comfortably.
Seems better. Oh, it is. Like magic.
Elsewhere, Nicole visits Brian to speak to him about Jessi.
When a child's welfare is at stake, it is my business.
You are no longer Jessi's therapist.
Kyle then tracks Jessi to the woods and tries to talk to her.
Care that your nose starts to bleed every time you strain too hard?
What am I supposed to do? He's my father.
At school, Kyle approaches the principal in front of everyone.
You should know, in total, there were 774 hits.
Well, that's impossible.
That evening, Brian finds Jessi in bed and confronts her.
Jessi, this isn't a game we're playing here. This is your future.
Oh, poor Jessi. Meanwhile, Kyle gets a message asking him to meet, and using the locations of the last few messages and solving a puzzle, he figures out the meeting spot and heads to JP Diner, where he gets a surprise.
Hello. My name's Sarah.
Elsewhere, Jessi tries to make up for the training she's missed.
You're done training. You're ready now.
I am?
The next morning, over breakfast, the Traegers discuss prom.
I didn't know prom cost so much money. $1,900 and count.
At the rack, Lori meets Mark and shows him the lyrics she wrote for the song.
I guess I just expected more from you.
Then, after Andy tells Josh that, despite being underage, she wants to go to the prom with him, Josh approaches Amanda.
I don't care what it takes. She's getting prom deluxe.
Elsewhere, Kyle goes to the woods to find Jessi.
If you don't want to listen to me, maybe you'll listen to Sarah. She's alive.
Kyle then returns home to update his parents about everything.
Who are these people?
I don't know. Their membership is kept secret.
At the rack, Lori and Mark's meeting goes sideways.
How about I quit?
You can find yourself another DJ.
Declan and Kyle head to the diner, and using Kyle's memory and Declan's wit, they find Sarah's car and track it to a local motel.
I just wanted to tell you that Jessi's okay.
Does she understand what Taylor's been doing?
Seeing a frustrated Lori retreat to her room, Jessi follows her and checks on her.
You're sad. No, I'm frustrated and annoyed.
Hearing the doorbell, an excited Jessi runs as fast as she can to answer it, hoping to finally meet her mother, but is soon devastated.
I gave you life!
They saved it.
You'll regret this. I'm all you've got.
Don't let her down now, Sarah. Jessi has risked everything for you. Later, Lori calls Mark and schedules another meeting.
Well, I guess we should wrap this one up first.
Meanwhile, at the house, Jessi is disappointed to see that Sarah has still not arrived.
Don't worry, I'm not going back to Brian.
That evening, the Traegers gather for a family meeting.
Of course she can stay. I mean, that's what we do, isn't it?
Excited to tell Jessi the good news, Kyle tracks her to the diner.
You're important.
Oh, I never mattered.
To the shock of Kyle, Jessi suddenly collapses and her heart stops. Without hesitation, Kyle uses his power, concentrates, and resuscitates Jessi.
It's okay now. I'm here.
Later, Kyle recounts everything that happened to Nicole.
Part of growing up is learning how our actions affect other people. I'm not worried about you.
I think you're gonna be just fine.
Meanwhile, Declan and Lori hang out outside.
So you don't have a date yet either. Guess your source is wrong too.
Elsewhere, Jessi and Sarah spend some time together.
Of not being everything you want me to be. I want to know you too.
While Tom visits Brian at his office.
One-way ticket? Trust me. You don't want to come back.
At the Latnok office, the executives review the footage from the diner and make plans. In the next few days, Kyle does some research on prom so that he can learn everything there's to know about it. Then, Kyle meets Adam.
Kyle, I wasn't pleased that Latnok was willing to test Jessi like some kind of a laboratory rat.
Elsewhere, Jessi prepares to leave with Sarah.
Things go wrong. You almost resent the happy moments, like they failed you.
At the house, Lori and Mark choose songs for the prom.
You sure you don't want to just DJ the prom yourself?
Meanwhile, after picking up Amanda's prom dress from the dry cleaner and realizing that she has changed her original dress into a different colored one, Kyle tries to match his outfit to hers.
Sometimes trying too hard to make things perfect can blow up in your face.
A few minutes later, Jessi arrives to speak to Kyle.
Adam said Latnok is watching me.
Amanda then calls and asks Kyle to send her dress to school since she still has a lot of work to do, and Jessi volunteers to deliver it to her while Kyle gets dressed. Meanwhile, upstairs, Andy arrives to see Lori and asks her to help her with her makeup. Later, Nicole checks in on Kyle.
Don't worry about anyone but yourself.
And Amanda.
At the school, Jessi delivers Amanda's dress and finds her stressed out.
Well, the decorations are a disaster, and Amanda has to get ready in the school locker room.
Look at you, turning a corner, Jessi. Kyle then comes up with a plan to rescue the disastrous prom decorations and enlists his friend's help. The group then heads to school, and Lori checks on Amanda, who got dressed and ready with the help of Jessi.
I had a near-death experience. It's gonna take me a few days to return to normal.
Later, Lori approaches Mark to check on the result of their contest.
This song is not the winner of the prom theme contest, but knows a whole lot more about who she is and really what life's all about.
Kyle then goes out to the roof to fix a leak and finds Jessi.
It's amazing what we can accomplish when we work together, isn't it?
Then, Kyle returns inside and finds Tom lurking in the shadows.
Tonight is about Amanda. We'll be fine.
At the end of the night, Declan and Lori prepare to leave the party.
I really like you, Lori. The girl who wrote it's got her whole future in front of her. I don't want to be the one that holds her back.
Meanwhile, after everyone leaves, Kyle and Amanda stay back and share a dance. Then, the couple proceeds to leave.
I left my other clothes inside.
Oh, let me help you.
Again.
Always.
Kyle returns a few seconds later but is horrified to find no trace of Amanda, but soon finds a Latnok ring on the ground. Then, while searching for Amanda, Kyle is knocked out, strapped onto a gurney, and taken to a building. But despite being in trouble himself, once he's awake, he only thinks about Amanda's well-being and tries to use his gift to free himself. Elsewhere, while Lori bails on the after-party and retires to her room, Josh and Andy attend the party where, together with Hillary, Declan tries to drown his sorrows in alcohol. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, Jessi and Sarah prepare to leave and start over elsewhere.
I think there's something wrong with Kyle.
You're just anxious about leaving.
Luckily, Kyle uses his talent to escape the building and, desperately hoping that Amanda somehow might have returned home, goes to her house to discreetly check for her presence. Meanwhile, at the Traeger house, Nicole checks on Lori to see how she's handling her breakup with Declan.
Declan's been your safety net, and it's scary to be on your own.
Kyle returns to the building, determined to do whatever it takes to rescue Amanda, but once he gets there, he's utterly surprised to see that in the few minutes he's been gone, the building has been completely emptied. Then, to add to his confusion, he sees Jessi arriving. Meanwhile, unaware of the developments, Lori arrives at the after-party and searches for Amanda.
Something wrong?
Oh no. God no. Carry on.
At the after-party, Lori continues her search and is shocked to find Hillary and Declan kissing.
I can help you look.
No, that's okay. Go back to your bathroom fiesta.
Lori!
Meanwhile, at the house, a worried Carol, who hasn't gotten an update from Amanda as they agreed, visits the Traegers, and, hoping they can keep her calm until Amanda's disappearance is solved, the Traegers invite her to stay up and wait with them.
In fact, we were just about to crack open a bottle of wine.
Carol, red or white? What's your pleasure?
With Steven's help, Jessi and Kyle find Amanda's location and head there.
Enhance her vision.
This is amazing.
Kyle soon locates Amanda, breaks down the door of her cell, and finds her unconscious. Then, as Kyle carries her out, he is reunited with Jessi, and they proceed to escape together. Then, after a few minutes of chase, the guards catch up to them. Kyle gives Amanda to Jessi and tells her to escape, while he stays back to fight, and later takes a bullet meant for Jessi and Amanda.
Put him in the chair. Been through a lot tonight. But you were amazing, man.
No, not Mark. I didn't see that coming. Meanwhile, at the house, Carol starts to panic as the 3 a.m. curfew approaches. Later, Jessi returns to her building.
I never caught your name.
Jessi.
They're more interested in you than you think, Jessi. She then enters the apartment and is absolutely heartbroken to find it empty, with only her suitcase and a letter from Sarah left. In the next week, Kyle is plagued by nightmares of losing Amanda to Latnok, which troubles him tremendously. Meanwhile, Jessi remains in her apartment, completely isolated from anyone, dealing with her anger her own way. One morning, Lori invites Mark to the rack.
Maybe you wanted to hang out with me.
What would make you think that?
Elsewhere, worried that Sarah hasn't returned any of her calls, Nicole visits Jessi at her apartment.
Please don't tell Kyle.
As soon as she enters, Nicole is horrified to read Sarah's letter, and her heart breaks for Jessi, who's been let down by every guardian she ever had. Meanwhile, Kyle hangs out at a fair with Amanda.
I don't know what was in it, but it really messed me up. I can't remember anything about the end of the night.
Hoping for a diversion, Josh takes Andy to the psychic, but it backfires.
You'll come into a sudden windfall.
Maybe you could go buy yourself some more honor, honey.
Outside, Kyle suddenly notices that Amanda is not next to him and panics.
Where were you? I didn't see
I went to find a garbage can. Maybe you guys should check out the psychic.
Kyle reluctantly goes inside, but soon gets the shock of his life.
You know there's no one who can hurt you. The only way to get to you is through those you love.
Horrified and confused by what he hears, Kyle recounts everything to his parents.
What she knew about Amanda.
It's a con. She was deliberately vague.
At the rack, Declan realizes that he's caused a major problem between Lori and Hillary, and feels lonely as both refuse to talk to him. Meanwhile, frustrated by Kyle's deception and overbearing attitude, Amanda confides in Hillary, and the duo makes a plan to spend the evening together, away from boys. Later, Nicole returns to Jessi's house to speak to her.
I want you to come home with me.
I already said.
I know.
Elsewhere, still terrified of what might happen to Amanda, Kyle speaks to her.
Why is tonight so important?
I'm worried something might happen to you.
Later, Mark shows up at the house to talk to Steven.
I'm about to ask permission to date my daughter, then you quite possibly have the worst timing in the history of the universe.
Elsewhere, Kyle goes to see Jessi.
I know, it's a lot to ask, but I have a feeling something bad is going to happen to her tonight.
Feeling cornered, Kyle invites Declan over for support. Declan and Kyle get there and find Hillary and Lori fighting.
You dumped him. You decided he wasn't good enough for all your...
Where's Amanda?
She's in line for the boat.
As Kyle starts running towards the boat, he sees a beam collapse and a girl fall into the water. Terrified for Amanda, Kyle jumps in after her and is surprised to see that the girl is Jessi.
Feeling okay?
Should have seen that beam coming.
Kyle then uses his power to heal Jessi's wound and comforts her. The next day, at the fair, Michael Cassidy visits the psychic.
It was a terrible joke to play on your friend.
Well, that's why I paid you a little extra.
Jessi moves in with the Traegers and tries to adjust to a family life. One morning, while everyone gathers for breakfast, Kyle hears Amanda playing the piano from her house and becomes mesmerized by it.
Do I help cook? Or Jessi? Your job is to eat.
Jessi has a lot to learn. Jessi and Kyle rush to Amanda's house to check on her.
Your audition is in 2 days.
Is there anything I can get you?
Later, Kyle hangs out with Declan and shares his problems with him.
I just wish Jessi could have moved in after the concert.
Elsewhere, Lori goes to the university to see Mark.
It is nice accidentally running into you. Well, it's not like you can prevent an accident.
Later, after Kyle finishes the game with Declan and proceeds to leave, he runs into Michael.
Ducting you and your girlfriend, probably not the best way to go. Let us show you we're the good guys. Humor me.
Meanwhile, Amanda continues having problems while playing the piano, accidentally breaks a string out of frustration, and asks Kyle to fix it.
And this pain in my neck, forgetting my music.
You're just nervous.
The next day, Lori returns to the university to spend some time with Mark.
We're really doing this, aren't we?
I'm willing to take the risk.
Elsewhere, Kyle comes up with a way to scan Amanda's brain without her knowing and goes to her rehearsal with Jessi and Josh.
Make sure we don't get caught.
Right.
Then, while Josh causes a distraction, Kyle sets up the scanner under the piano. But after playing for only a few moments, Amanda sees Kyle and Jessi talking closely, becomes distracted, and storms out.
I shouldn't have brought her.
No, you shouldn't have. But somehow she's always around, helping.
The next morning, while Kyle reviews the data from the scanner, Jessi joins him.
We'll call up the numbers. I'll input them in the program.
I should do this by myself.
Later at the house, Jessi finds Amanda preparing for her date with Mark and chats with her.
Everyone under legal voting age is honor bound to keep each other's secrets.
At the university, Michael catches up with Mark and gives him a warning.
I heard through the grapevine you've been spending time with Laurie Traeger.
At the house, Kyle employs Jessi's help to figure out how to help Amanda.
I have to regulate the voltage and apply just the right amount to disintegrate the block.
Kyle concentrates and manages to power the light, but ends up breaking the bulb. At the university, while Laurie waits for Mark, he calls her.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got held up.
At the house, while a reluctant Kyle practices the kiss on Jessi in her room, hoping to figure out the right amount of current to pass to Amanda and help her,
Give her your best guess about the voltage.
Amanda arrives to speak to Nicole.
I was hoping you could teach me some relaxation techniques.
Meanwhile, in Jessi's room, Kyle and Jessi continue their practice. Soon after, Amanda walks in and is utterly horrified by what she sees.
But there is no explanation for why you were kissing Jessi.
There is.
Later, a disappointed Laurie returns home. Meanwhile, Kyle sneaks into Amanda's recital to see her.
What are you doing here?
I couldn't let you perform without trying to make things better.
Kyle kisses Amanda and she goes on to play better than she ever has, while a heartbroken Kyle returns home. In the next few weeks, the Traegers and Jessi try to cheer up the heartbroken Kyle, who refuses to leave his tub and insists on spending the whole day staring at his drawings of Amanda, but fail miserably until Nicole gives him a stern talking to one morning and orders him to take a shower and leave the house. Later, Kyle heads to the rack with Josh and Declan and is nervous to see Amanda there.
I thought Amanda didn't work on Fridays.
You know her schedule?
Meanwhile, at the house, still annoyed at her father for forbidding her relationship with Mark, Laurie confides in Jessi.
Wish I had a place of my own.
I do.
Elsewhere, hoping to cheer Kyle up, Declan takes him and Josh to a bar that doesn't check IDs, and as soon as the trio gets in, Kyle notices a girl smiling at him.
She likes you, dude. She doesn't even know me.
At Jessi's apartment, as Jessi and Laurie hang out, Jessi drops a bombshell.
You guess? Is there a romantic interest I'm not aware of?
Only Kyle.
At the bar, Kyle has fun singing karaoke with Declan and Josh and playing and winning different games using his special talent. Kyle soon impresses everyone by achieving what seemed impossible, and the trio makes money off the bets. At Jessi's apartment, a shocked Laurie tries to find out more about Jessi's revelation.
Jessi, Kyle is totally hopelessly in love with Amanda.
But they broke up.
At the bar, a drunk Kyle continues to show off his skills and acts recklessly. Soon, while Kyle continues singing at the top of his lungs, Josh and Declan realize that their car has been towed and freak out. Elsewhere, as per Jessi's recommendation, Michael goes to the rack.
Sorry, have we met?
I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Meanwhile, the boys go to the impound lot to retrieve their car.
Hey man, our car got towed in front of the Wild Coyote.
Now, Daddy's car towed. Wow.
At the rack, Mark confronts Michael.
You told me not to see her. I changed my mind. I thought you'd be happy about it.
At the impound lot, Kyle breaks the fence and the trio discreetly enters. A nauseated Kyle walks off, vomits, and soon returns with a clear head.
Stole the car? It's your car! Get in! Get out!
The trio drives off, but soon is forced to stop due to a flat tire.
It's just a flat tire. We can fix it.
Right!
Meanwhile, at the rack, Jessi and Laurie hang out with Michael and Mark. Mark follows Laurie out to apologize, where the duo share a kiss and resume their relationship. Meanwhile, not knowing what to do, the trio sits and takes a moment to reflect on the night and figure out their next move.
I don't really remember that much.
You don't?
Unfortunately, a few minutes later, the impound lot manager catches up with the trio.
Now you are gonna pay for what you did back there, boy.
The boys then chain the manager, change their tire using his spare, and flee the area. At the house, with all the kids out, Nicole starts redecorating her home office to turn it into Jessi's room, and after hearing about Steven's fight with Laurie, she convinces him to allow Mark to see Laurie. Meanwhile, Laurie spends some intimate time with Mark at Jessi's apartment, while Jessi hangs out with Michael at the rack.
It's like we speak the same language, have the same thoughts.
Later, the boys get home and reflect on their night.
I don't want to forget how much I care about Amanda and why she's so important to me.
Then, as Kyle steps out to head to Amanda's house, he gets a call from Tom.
When I call you, it's important.
I'm sorry.
Adam died today.
What do you mean, Tom? A few days later, Kyle, Nicole, and Josh travel to a psychology conference where Nicole is expected to make a speech.
Thanks for inviting me.
Kyle's mind drifts back to the last conversation he had with Tom.
They want me to come work with them.
With Baylin gone, I'll have even more reason now.
Then, suddenly, a distracted Kyle swerves to avoid hitting another car, which sends the Traeger's car off the road and crashing into the ravine.
Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Before the woman takes another step, her water breaks, which freaks her out. At the house, Lori checks in on Jessi in her new room, but it soon goes sideways.
Okay, so I can't sit on your bed, but you can just raid my closet?
In the woods, worried because Kyle hasn't returned yet, Josh goes to the road to check on him.
I think I know if I'm actually going to labor.
She's going to labor?
Kyle rushes back to Gretchen to check on her.
I feel it. A heartbeat.
Kyle steps aside and tries his best to send a signal to Jessi and inform her of their situation.
What's happening?
Sorry, I was trying to reach Jessi.
Once Kyle leaves, Nicole notices that she's profusely bleeding, but decides to keep this to herself and allow the boys to tend to Gretchen. Kyle then prepares to deliver the baby and encourages Gretchen to push and breathe. Meanwhile, at the house, while Lori and Jessi continue arguing, Steven receives a call.
Have you heard anything from Kyle?
I think so.
Elsewhere, Kyle continues encouraging Gretchen to push, but soon gets concerned by what he figures out.
Stimulate the baby with a little charge.
Kyle charges himself through the car and heads back to Gretchen. Meanwhile, at the house, the trio tries to narrow down the location of the accident.
Apparently my family took...
Wait. It's Route 41.
Meanwhile, Kyle returns to Gretchen and proceeds to deliver the baby. After a few stressful minutes, to everyone's utter joy and relief, a beautiful baby boy is born.
I hope he hasn't any outy belly buttons. It's just weird.
Just be glad he has one.
Kyle then orders Josh, who wanted to give his mother the exciting news, to stay back with Gretchen, rushes to check on Nicole, and is devastated to find her profusely bleeding and unconscious. Terrified and holding back his tears, Kyle tries to get Nicole out of the car, to no avail. Luckily, through the message Kyle had sent to Jessi, help arrives soon, and Nicole is rushed to the hospital, along with Gretchen and her baby, who are doing well. At the hospital, the terrified Traegers wait to hear Nicole's status.
And right now her condition is critical, but stable.
Kyle then sneaks into the doctor's locker room, dons a white coat to impersonate one, and within a few minutes studies all the books he can find in there. He then joins the doctors for rounds in the ICU.
If her heart rate continues to fall, her kidneys would fail. Other organs would follow. Correct.
Once the doctors leave, holding back his tears, Kyle sits by Nicole's side and spends a few minutes with her.
Sorry I left you.
Kyle then tries to use his power to heal Nicole, but fails and is heartbroken. Then, while Kyle tries to clear his head and figure out what to do, Jessi finds him.
You got my message and sent help. You hurt me.
Knowing that it may be the only way out, Kyle shares his idea with Steven.
Adam Baylin's formula. In the pod, I can inject it into her IV.
Outside, having had enough of all the hostility, Lori approaches Jessi.
I don't like fighting with you. Yes, you do. You're good at it. You're better.
Meanwhile, Kyle meets Michael and informs him of his predicament.
Join us at Latnok. Participate.
Despite having once promised never to associate himself with Latnok, Kyle, who is desperate to save the life of the woman who had saved him, agrees to the deal and receives the fluid. He then discreetly injects the fluid in Nicole's IV, and as he watches on with sheer hope, she regains consciousness.
She's gonna be okay.
Later, Jessi discreetly meets with Michael. A few days later, Amanda and Kyle run into each other and exchange an awkward greeting.
You don't have to avoid the rack, you know.
Oh, I'm not avoiding.
Excited by his interaction, Kyle returns home smiling to himself, but finds an annoyed Jessi waiting for him.
I don't want the family to know I'm going to Latnok. I don't want to upset Nicole.
Later, just as he promised, Kyle meets with Michael, who proceeds to give him a tour of the Latnok facility.
What do they know about me?
I told them you're a genius.
At home, Jessi seeks Lori out to ask her for a favor.
Please don't tell Kyle anything about Cassidy.
Later, Lori overhears her parents' conversation about Nicole's massive hospital bill, discreetly finds it, is shocked by the amount, and tries to figure out how to help them pay it. At the university, Kyle continues the tour with Michael.
Why don't you tell Kyle here what you're working on? Maybe he can help.
Kyle is shocked to see Mark there and tries to process the implications of his discovery.
Believe you already know Mark?
Later, at the house, Josh and Lori inform Kyle about their parents' hospital debt, and as the trio brainstorms possible solutions, Kyle remembers his earlier conversation with Mark and calls Michael.
Cassidy, it's Kyle. I'll be back tomorrow.
At the rack, while Lori writes a song hoping to sell it and raise money for the hospital bill, Amanda confides in her about her breakup with Kyle.
Kyle does not have feelings for Jessi. Trust me, I would kill him.
Elsewhere, at Jessi's apartment, Josh plans to sell some of his stuff online to make some money with the help of Andy, but soon discovers renting out the apartment for parties would earn him more, and starts getting the word out. So nice to see all the kids do their best to help out. At the university, Kyle starts working on his prototype.
Seems like maybe you're not as smart as they think you are.
Maybe so.
Later, at the house, hoping to minimize the burden on her parents, Lori approaches Nicole with some news.
Oh, let me get it.
No, I've got it.
You're not supposed to get it.
Moments later, Jessi returns home and runs into Nicole in the kitchen.
We're supposed to treat you delicately until you feel better.
Later, one of Josh's customers calls the house about the apartment, and, unaware of the cause, Nicole and Steven are horrified to learn about Josh's endeavors and scold him. At the university, Kyle buries himself in his work so that he can finish it in time.
You're asking the wrong person about keeping secrets from his girlfriend.
Elsewhere, just like she promised, and encouraged by her conversation with Lori, Amanda takes lasagna to the Traeger's house.
Why do you even care? You already have a new boyfriend.
I don't have a boyfriend.
At the university, Kyle speaks to Michael about their arrangement.
We've liked the idea of her here for a while, but so far she hasn't proved to be a very trustworthy girl.
A frustrated Kyle returns home and continues working on the prototype.
I thought Latnok had unlimited resources.
I had a setback with them.
So the Traegers all come together and help out and show their support as Kyle spends the afternoon building the prototype. Later, Kyle finishes building it, tests it, but is gutted to see it working for only a few minutes.
It's not about time. It's the magnets. They're not pure enough.
Later, while a disappointed Kyle retreats to his room, Jessi surprises him with some good news.
But at least now we have a chance. Thank you.
Now equipped with the magnet, the Traegers rush to the competition, and Kyle sends his family inside and prepares to finish assembling his prototype. Then, the group finishes quickly and together with Kyle enters.
The Latnok organization, the one that Kyle's working with, I'm a part of it.
Could you pick a worse time for that announcement? Nate and Kyle go up to present their respective prototypes, and Nate impresses everyone with his results, which only lasts a few seconds, while Kyle manages to levitate higher and for a longer duration and wins the competition.
Doesn't have to be around two.
I don't be so sure about that.
Utterly delighted, everyone congratulates Kyle while Michael watches him from his seat, beaming with sheer pride. Later, while she hangs out with Josh, Andy shares some heartbreaking news.
Cleveland.
Excuse me?
My mom got a job she couldn't pass up.
Meanwhile, Nate goes to the rack for some coffee.
Amanda. It's a pretty name.
How petty are you, Nate? At the house, hoping to understand the matter better, Kyle goes to Jessi's room to speak to her. In the aftermath of the revelation, Jessi and Kyle go to the rack, and each meets with Jessi and Declan separately to talk about the situation.
Just tell him you had a temporary moment of craziness, but it's past.
Oh, Lori, if only you knew. Following Lori's advice, Jessi approaches Kyle. This can't end well.
We don't need to talk about it. You're my friend. Everything else.
Then Kyle takes Jessi to Latnok.
With your two minds, I'm sure you'll come up with something fabulous.
On the other side, Mark explains himself to Lori, hoping she will forgive him.
I guess if anything, I kind of saw myself as a somewhat less nerdy Moby.
That evening, at home, Kyle vents his frustration on his siblings.
Amanda always sees the best in people, and I don't want Nate to take advantage of her.
Kyle then heads to his room and finds Jessi planning the party.
Because of Amanda?
He's not right for her. Why can't she see that?
The next day at the university, Kyle and Jessi start planning the party.
So, how would this prove if two people are compatible?
Later, at the house, Jessi informs Lori that she has completed step 1.
Seriously, don't go sneak up behind her in a dark alley. Knocking her unconscious is not an option.
Then, as Jessi prepares for the party, Kyle catches up with her.
There's no way Nicole will let them go to a party sponsored by Latnok.
Then, Declan arrives at the house to inform Kyle of the results of his research on what Kyle had discovered in Michael's office.
You don't think it's a coincidence?
Is anything in your life ever just a coincidence?
Later, Jessi updates Lori on her status.
What's wrong? Do I not look okay?
No, you look great, just not hot.
The party soon commences and Kyle arrives with Declan.
That's why I have to tell her what kind of person he is.
No, what you need to do is get into Cassidy's office.
Kyle then leaves to head to Michael's office, but stops dead in his tracks, stunned to see Jessi.
I think Nate may have done something to affect the results.
While Declan keeps an eye on Michael and Amanda, Jackie approaches her.
Are you a good guy or am I just wasting my time?
Meanwhile, Kyle breaks into Michael's office and then into his safe and is shocked to find Sarah's one-of-a-kind Latnok ring. Before he can process this, Kyle sees Michael approaching his office and with Declan's help, quickly flees. Then, once he and Declan safely rejoin the party, Kyle is gutted to see Amanda and Nate getting close.
What are you doing? Get away from her.
Kyle, please!
Jessi's taken aback to see this, and as she reflects on her role in it, Lori confronts her.
Ditch the other chick.
That was before I knew the other chick was Amanda.
On the other side of the party, Michael congratulates Kyle on the party.
Adam gave it to her. It has a red stone and it's one of a kind.
Elsewhere, Nate heads to the rack to speak to Amanda.
I'm sorry about tonight.
For once, you weren't the one responsible.
That evening at the house, while Kyle steps outside to reflect on the events of the day, Amanda arrives.
And people who want things from me, who know that the way to get to me is through the people I love.
Kyle then heads to Jessi's room to update her.
He has Sarah's ring.
What?
Then, as Kyle comforts the devastated Jessi, he is shocked to see both their necklaces light up in the same color and tries to process their implications. While Kyle comforts Jessi, the duo falls asleep, and they spend the whole night sleeping next to each other in Jessi's room. The next morning, Kyle wakes up alone and finds Jessi in his room.
Nobody saw her exactly, but it still could have been Sarah.
That's true.
At the university, Jessi and Kyle prepare to set their plan in motion.
I can make him tell us what he's hiding.
That's not acting normal.
It is for me.
Then, while Jessi breaks into Michael's office to copy the card, Kyle starts his demonstration.
I've also reduced the transfer time to less than a picosecond.
Jessi finishes copying the card, and as she proceeds to the safe, she feels dizzy. And as she tries to steady herself, Nate arrives.
What took you so long?
I wanted Sarah's ring.
Elsewhere, Declan invites both Hillary and Lori to the rack, promising to hang out with them.
Not funny, Declan. Open up.
This is not what I signed on for.
Quality friend time, ladies.
At the house, Kyle and Jessi go through Michael's call logs.
That's when we met. He was friendly.
Concerned about Jessi's well-being, Nicole checks in on her.
Well, as long as it doesn't get too high. It's good that she's sleeping it off.
Kyle then brings a bucket of ice and puts it in the tub, hoping it will decrease Jessi's fever.
Sleeping won't help you feel better. But this might.
Kyle then starts accessing Jessi's memory and sees all the times they spent together.
She's remembering all these moments that she's had with me.
At the rack, while hanging out with Nate, Amanda notices the Latnok symbol on his arm. You don't even know the guy, Amanda. At the house, Kyle and Jessi continue exploring Jessi's memory.
Crime scenes detectives use ultraviolet lights to view the evidence.
In the aftermath of the tragic discovery, Nicole checks in on Jessi.
I was here all along and I didn't save her.
You couldn't. You didn't know.
Then, Kyle approaches Jessi to talk to her about his findings.
I don't think anyone should know about this yet.
I know it's not over.
To the shock of Nicole, who makes her way to the kitchen, Kyle kisses Jessi. Elsewhere, Michael opens his safe and is troubled to see that Sarah's ring is missing.
I caught Jessi in there this morning.
Jessi.
Why, something wrong?
Nate then takes out Sarah's ring from his pocket and inspects it closely. A few days later, Nicole approaches Kyle to talk to him about what she had seen.
You have a unique bond. It's not that surprising that you'd be attracted to each other.
At the university, Michael speaks to Nate in his office. Once he's alone, Michael goes through Jessi's files, including the murder of the hunter in the woods. Meanwhile, Jessi and Kyle hang out at the rack.
This may be one of the few places we can be alone together.
An angry Jessi returns home and takes out her frustration on Nicole.
But while you're both living in this house, he can't be with you. Not in that way.
Later, Kyle heads to the university to confront Michael.
Jessi is a good person.
She's certainly lucky to have a friend like you.
At the house, Lori goes to Jessi's room to catch up with her.
God, I hate myself sometimes. Why do I say cruel things to people?
Then, Kyle updates his parents about Latnok.
It's Cassidy I need to know more about, so I have to make him believe I'm on his side.
The next day, Kyle and Nate meet at the rack and work on their project.
Cassidy teamed us up. He must think you can contribute.
That evening, as soon as Andy shows up at the rack, Josh starts preparing the surprise he has planned for her.
Makes me sad to think his ambition might stop when I leave.
That night, Michael arrives at the house for dinner and is graciously welcomed by Stephen, Nicole, and Kyle.
Where is home, Mr. Cassidy?
Brookman.
Elsewhere, as they have been assigned to do by Kyle, Lori and Declan hang out with Mark and Jackie at the rack.
This brownie is amazing.
So good, you.
On the other side of the cafe, still unaware that it's his last night with Andy, Josh enjoys the romantic dinner with her.
It feels very futuristic.
Meanwhile, at the house, Nicole raises her concerns with Nicole.
Kyle's a natural-born leader.
Unable to catch up to Jessi, Stephen, and Nicole return to the house.
I do feel I had to tell you. I don't think any of us want someone so unpredictable.
Meanwhile, after taking her out on a date, Nate takes Amanda to his dorm, and while he steps out to get her a drink, she's shocked out of her mind to find Adam's papers. Later, Michael goes to the rack to meet Kyle and is confused to find it empty.
We closed early.
Jessi, listen.
Why did she have to die?
So you killed her. You took everything from me.
Shocked out of his mind, Kyle rushes to check on Jessi.
Kyle, she's... No, don't say it.
Kyle then tries to heal her, but fails miserably.
You're right.
I slowed my heartbeat down to 2 beats per minute.
You definitely had me fooled. Determined to put a stop to the project, Kyle keeps up the charade. What's the grand plan here, Kyle? Didn't you just say you were in this together, Michael? Kyle then heads home and reunites with Steven and Nicole, who are worried out of their minds. The next morning, Jessi checks in on Kyle in his room and finds him getting dressed.
Your pectoral muscles are also expanding.
Meanwhile, Josh, who had sneaked Andy into his room to spend the night, wakes up and is shocked to find her gone.
Straight to voicemail? Not cool. Leaving without saying goodbye? Even less cool. What's wrong with you?
In Kyle's room, Jessi and Kyle start investigating the project.
We can access the city police's thermal imaging scans.
I know this is weird, but I really need to talk to you, and I don't want anyone else to know about it. I think you were right about Nate.
What did he do?
I found all this odd research in his dorm room.
Amanda then kisses him and leaves. Later, the Traegers discuss how best to go up against Michael.
Well, don't you think that Cassidy would be watching you closely?
I'll need some sort of distraction.
Kyle and Nicole go to Latnok together, and Nicole reaches out to Michael. While Michael hosts Nicole, Kyle breaks into the secure room.
Where did she go the last time?
The woods. It's a long story.
Later, Kyle returns home, and while he burns all of Adam's notes so that there won't be any detailed record of the experiment, Nicole arrives.
If I don't destroy every trace of this formula, he'll just recreate it.
With Declan's help, Kyle breaks into Michael's apartment. He then brings what he found at the apartment home to discuss with Jessi.
Grace Kingsley. Why does that name sound familiar?
Jessi and Kyle share their shocking discovery with Steven and Nicole.
Worse than just cloning. Jessi and I were in gestation for 16 years.
Jessi follows Kyle to wish him luck.
One day soon, if we're successful, your life will just return to normal.
Excited to hear this, Jessi kisses Kyle, wishes him luck, and sends him off. That evening, at the house, hoping to speak to Kyle, Amanda knocks on his window and is disappointed to see Jessi on the other end.
I'm supposed to be missing, and if you go and tell your new boyfriend that I'm not, you'll ruin everything.
Meanwhile, Kyle breaks into the warehouse, and as he starts injecting the bacteria into the fluids, Mark walks in, forcing him to hide. Then, while working, Mark gets curious about the covered pods and starts to inspect them closely, but a guard soon arrives and forces him back to his desk. Elsewhere, Amanda breaks into Nate's dorm, and with guidance from Jessi, she accesses his laptop.
There's a lot of stuff here Nate's been collecting.
About Kyle?
See for yourself.
Suddenly, Nate walks into his dorm and catches Amanda in action.
Yeah, I just caught Kyle's girlfriend's going through my stuff.
That's impossible. She's missing. I'll find out what they know.
Realizing that he's running out of time, Kyle jumps down from the ceiling and faces Mark.
We don't have much time. Do you have any idea what you've been helping Cassidy do? Latnok is not what they say they are, and I need your help.
Later, Kyle accomplishes his mission and returns home.
You're very anxious for someone who's looking for a dead girl.
At his dorm, Nate confronts Amanda.
I told you I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I wish I could believe that.
Then, as Nate starts to hit Amanda, Jessi comes to her rescue and attacks him.
We have to get the files and get moving. He's not going to be out for very long.
Why not?
At the house, Kyle's confrontation with Michael continues. At the dorm, Jessi goes through Nate's files and drawers, hoping to get as much information as possible.
Nate stole it from Cassidy. It belonged to my mother.
Then, while going through the files on the computer, Jessi makes a shocking discovery. At the house, Michael continues attacking Kyle.
I'll hurt everybody that ever mattered to you.
Outraged by the threats and looming danger to those he loved, Kyle uncharacteristically and brutally attacks Michael, who soon drops a bombshell.
Grace Kingsley, my mother, she's your mother too.
What does this mean?